Arkansas weather.
For today, plenty of sunshine. There is a chance of seeing some widely scattered showers and storms. The high this afternoon, upper 90s to near 100. A few isolated showers and storms tonight. Overnight low will drop down into the low 70s. And Wednesday, we'll see a chance of scattered showers and storms. A high low 90s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Green Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936. KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 11 days. Coming to you.
Watches it get out of here. Gackle sets and deals. He struck him out swinging. And this one belongs to the Razorbacks.
And let's get things underway today here. Gorgeous day. Can already feel the heat building up. Going to hear from Bobby Petrino for the second and final time this football season. Be speaking after a practice about 45 minutes from now. You had Sam Pittman speak at the Little Rock Touchdown Club yesterday. Travis Williams too. Well, not at the Touchdown Club. He spoke for I guess what'll be the last time as well after speaking last week. So sound from all of them as we continue to count down to kickoff against Alabama A&M, or I think in some people's mind kickoff to Arkansas State and just the football season. Matt Jones, a good morning to you. We got past our Monday, and Mondays are always, for me, they're sort of the easiest day. Tuesdays kind of feel like a little bit of a Monday sometimes, if you know what I mean. But I got a bunch of stuff planned here. Talk about Bobby Petrino's offense and how second-year quarterbacks under Petrino have fared. Got some bad Big Ten ideas and reasons why the Big Ten really might not be as big as they claim to be. Lots to get to, including Alyssa Orange. We'll hear from her and her new podcast for Varsity Vibe. Bill King from Nashville Sports Radio, too. So it's going to be a packed 3 hours, my man.
Happy Tuesday. Yeah, we get to see what's next on the docket for Alyssa Orange. I know everybody's just on the edge of their seat, ready to find out what she's doing next in the sports world. And your boy, Mike Irwin, came back yesterday. Our thoughts and prayers were with him for a couple weeks as he was dealing with some stuff. So, yeah, Monday was a good day, and we will miss Fisherman Clay Henry today. That's for sure. I do look forward to him on the double meat sandwich part of Tuesday, Wednesday. But the show must go on, and we'll have a good time.
I think Clay is on his way back from the solo trip to Colorado, starting to drive back. I think it was at Loveland. I can't keep track of all the different trips that he takes I know it's the usual same states: Wyoming, Colorado, Utah. That's about
Did you get the 17 picture? I guess what is it called, a portfolio these days? What do they? I figured he sent it to you too, but it looked like he was having a time.
Yeah, I got
maybe 12 pictures.
I got more than a triptych.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, most of them are brown trouts in his net, which I think for a fisherman of Clay's quality, those are really the only pictures he may be interested in taking. So he sent quite a few of those. So I think he got a lot of. I think he caught a lot of fish. Man, Matt, I don't know what to get into first here because we're here from Bobby Petrino later today. Let me get into this. Even Sam said it yesterday at the Touchdown Club, and I think it's assumed that with Taylon Green in his second year in Bobby's offense that things are going to get better statistically. That's what Sam pointed to. Statistically, in Petrino's career, from the first year as a starter to the second year as a starter, there has been a noticeable statistical bump. Also, in most cases, a bump in wins from the previous year. So I know that we're banking on that quite a bit. From one year to the next, continuity does help quite a bit. So I got some numbers that sort of prove that, but then that's in the previous era of college football. So I just wonder if it translates to this era of college football. So Green Matt is going to be the fifth quarterback that will be a second-year starter under Bobby Petrino in FBS college football. Stephen LaFleur started back-to-back years at Louisville. So did Brian Braum, Ryan Mallett at Arkansas, Lamar Jackson at Louisville. And outside of Braum, there were noticeable upticks in a lot of the stats that would mean something outside of just the wins. And yes, they improved in that second year in wins in just about every single case. LaFleur's, Mallett, Jackson all had noticeable bumps in completion percentage, touchdown percentage. Mallett had a few more interceptions thrown, but he also had a better yards per attempt. But all the things that are different between those four quarterbacks and this year for Taylen Green, almost all of them had their top returning receiver or pass catcher in terms of receiving yards, second leading receiver. And in terms of Mallett in 2010, he had his top 5 pass catchers returning, so they all knew that offense just as well as he did. Joe Adams, DJ Williams, Greg Childs, Kobe Hamilton, Jarius Wright. Lamar Jackson, he had his top 4 returning receivers from his freshman year to his sophomore season in the Heisman Trophy. The Razorbacks, Matt, do not have any of their top 10 receivers in terms of receiving yards from last year. So, I mean, this is the point I've been making. This is independent of any continuity on the offensive line. This is just the pass catchers. And you don't have all that continuity on the offensive line either. So that's why it's not that I'm skeptical that there's going to be a jump in Taylen's play from this year to next year. It's just there is a major difference if you point to the statistical realities of Petrino's year and second-year quarterbacks and this year's second-year quarterbacks, in which he's got a whole new set of pass catchers.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what they got going on. You keep trying to glean as much as you can out of camp. Monte Harris, what other receivers are they talking about? How good's the running game? And it might be more of a run and shoot. I know you think that it's going to be probably more games in the 30s where the offense is going to get there, which it'd be a change because the offense has been anemic the last 3 years. If you really think about it, games you needed since the year they beat Penn State in the bowl game, the offense has been anemic. Especially crucial time, especially at home, man. And some of those home games are just tough to watch. I mean, you think of Missouri-Auburn 2 years ago when it was just like, oh, you just wanted to throw up. And then last year, kind of the same thing. So maybe the fans will like it more. I don't know if it equates to more wins because if your defense can't stop anybody, you're not going to beat anybody in the SEC.
Right.
But maybe it's a more pleasurable, aesthetically. Maybe it's more pleasing to watch this Razorback team because they can put up points.
But I think part of it is also the idea that everybody's on the same page if you're in your second year of the offense. How many of the players that Taylen's going to be throwing passes to are looking to him to make sure that they're in the right place or running the right route? How much doubt is in the back of their minds? If it's such a, you got to appreciate the idea that an offense can be rather complex and it can take some time to learn it and all that goes into being a quarterback. But doesn't that also play the same for receivers, running backs, tight ends, those who have to run the right routes, and those who have to understand what coverage is in front of them and how to react to that too? So, you need your quarterback to know where everybody's going to be, but then you need those pass catchers to be in the right place. And if there's a jump from quarterback play from one year to the next under Bobby Petrino, we also have evidence that there's a jump in wide receiver and tight end play in that second year under him too, and you just don't have many of those second-year receivers or tight ends.
Yeah, Sheryl Crow, where have all the tight ends gone? That's for sure. So we hopefully you can get the tight ends implemented and get some type of where the defense has account for you. They didn't even have to account for the tight ends last year. The thing, it doesn't matter. It does, Phil. Yeah, you're more comfortable each year you get going, but to get on the field you have to know your assignment. You got to know what you're doing. It's not that hard. I mean, it is. It's tough, learning things and doing that. I get that, but I guess my experience going from quarterback to receiver, it was 1,000 times easy. All I got to do is know one route. I got to do is know this thing instead of what everybody, so it's a little easier mentally that way. So, and you got a lot of classroom activities. You got people there talking and stuff. But yes, if you're going to play receiver for Bobby Petrino and any coach, if you don't know what to do, I can't play you, son. I've heard coaches say that at just about every other meeting. Like it's like how you can't have mental errors over and over, whatever position you are, because I can't play you if you don't know what to do.
It's interesting to hear you talk about how the difference in knowing what everybody has to do between being wide receiver and being quarterback. It's like knowing everybody's dance steps for the lead dancer of any kind of routine up on stage. Do you just worry about your own dance steps, or you worry about everybody else's too? You got to worry about everybody else's when you're a quarterback. I mean, you got to know where everybody is at every moment, every step that they're supposed to take, as long as the play doesn't get blown up. So, well, at least Green will know where everybody's supposed to be. It's just hopefully that everybody's exactly where they're supposed to be. Again, halftime on a Tuesday. Bill King, Nashville Sports Radio for our third hour. That's 1:15. He is the king of college football talk. And Alyssa Orange coming up in about 20 minutes to learn a little more about this Varsity Vibe podcast, which highlights high school athletics all across the natural state. Plus, Lewis Automotive Hotline open throughout the show, including right now at 877-377-6963. Are you skeptical of the offense under Bobby Petrino in the second year for pointing to quarterbacks and the jump they make, but you don't have that continuity in terms of pass catchers? How does that make you think about what this offense will produce in 2025? We're back with more halftime in just a moment.
I think it's your girlfriend called.
Text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive Group, home of the Lewis Guarantee.
From Memphis, Tennessee, number 10, Todd Day. What a slam dunk by the freshman out of Memphis.
All right, Todd, what do you think of the intro? Is that legendary enough for you?
It was great. Okay. Yeah, it was legendary.
Don't miss a Morning Rush, only on ESPN 95.3.
Every Thursday, take a trip down memory lane at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Joe's is bringing back the flavors you loved from Cuco's, the beloved restaurant that once called this place home. Join Joe's Grill and Cantina for Throwback Thursday and savor classic Cuco's dishes. It's the taste from the past with the vibrant atmosphere of Joe's. Don't miss out on the reunion every Thursday at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Come for the food, stay for the memories. 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Storm season is here. Is your roof ready? Hey, it's Matt Jones. If the weather has wrecked your roof and you need a roofing company you can trust, call my friends at Patriot Brothers Roofing. They have the #1 certainteed roofing company in Arkansas. They are licensed, bonded, insured, and lifetime River Valley residents located in Van Buren.
Thanks, Matt. We are also the only roofing company in the River Valley that installs a full CertainTeed integrity roof system and registers a 50-year warranty directly with CertainTeed. Patriot Brothers Roofing, because your home deserves only the best.
To $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off, or take 4.9% for up to 84 months. Lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer and go 0 to 60 in under 3.9 seconds for as low as $9.99 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
I've got a confession to make. I'm on my phone way too much, and most of the time, it's a waste. Hey, it's Ty Richardson for JamMart gas stations and convenience stores. There are some apps that are worth your time, such as the JamMart Rewards app. It includes top deals, the latest promotions, plus rewards that keep you coming back. Anytime I stop by the pump or register, my loyalty number is being utilized. Keeping up with my points and offers is easy. Download the JamMart Rewards app today in the iTunes or Google Play Store. JamMart, the leading gas station and convenience stores in Arkansas.
Have you had Cheer One yet? The cherry flavored soda has had people coming back since 1917.
This is RD with Platinum Distributing. We help bring Cheerwine to the River Valley for you to try. Nothing goes with food like Cheerwine. Burgers, barbecue, pizza, you name it. Okay, now we're hungry and thirsty. Cheerwine is a one-of-a-kind soft drink with a unique cherry taste that has been delighting listeners for more than a century. Pick up Cheerwine at your local Jam Mart, Harps, and other fine establishments. Cheerwine, uniquely Southern since 1917.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
Summer is here, and Gelco Outdoors has the outdoor gear for you. Hiking boots by Salomon, running shoes by Under Armour, fishing shoes by Extra Tough and Under Armour, dry fit fishing and outdoor clothing by AFCO, Ariat, Drake, Hook, and Under Armour. Take advantage of the hot summer deals on summer clothing with buy one, get the second at 50% off. See store for details. For all your summer fishing, Gelco has the gear. Hunters, get ready for bow season. Gelco Outdoors, your one-stop summer store. 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Ooh, I like the way you make me feel like I could be the number one game in town. All those pretty words you say to me to pick me up whenever I'm feeling down. But I know you're just a white witch putting that spell on me. You know I love the punishment, so girl, keep telling me.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
So a website or a Twitter account, Matt, called Hitmen Hoops that is reporting that Arkansas and Memphis are going to have a basketball exhibition game at the FedEx Forum on October the 28th. We need preseason games for college football so we have a little better sense of what to expect. You know, just like that year Arkansas beat number 1 Purdue in a preseason game, and the expectations went pretty high after that, and that was not a very good basketball team by the end of the year.
Well, you know, sometimes you gotta turn Tom Waits up, and it says we're going out west, and that's what he did. He might have left a little bit early that year, but yeah. Hopefully, I'm always pulling for Coach Muss, man. I think when Coach Muss got here, the program he left. We'll just say this: when he got here, I think he elevated the program, and then he left just because it was a down year. The program was better because of Coach Muss, and a lot of coaches can't say that, Phil. A lot of Van Horn is a goat. When you think about Norm DeBryan to Van Horn, where the program is and keeps going, you think about our football. I mean, it just depends on who gets here. They're either going to run us into the ground or they're going to elevate us. And I think right now Coach Pittman has the program better than it was when he got here.
Well, I think that's absolutely the truth. So I see the word disaster get thrown around on social media, and I shouldn't pay attention to just the negative things you see on Twitter or X, because most of it is. But it isn't a disaster at all. It's funny. I was going back and I was going to make fun of Indiana for a quick moment, because Indiana football has been scheduled out, Matt, for the last 4 years. Not a single P4 team outside of the Big Ten scheduled until they got Notre Dame in 2030 and 2031 for a home and home. I only bring it up here because this year, Indiana football next year, 2026, plays Colorado State and Western Kentucky at home. The last time I remember a team that played Colorado State and Western Kentucky at home, it was Chad Morris's last year at Arkansas. Colorado State was the last game he ever won. I think that was the intro of Club Dub. And then Western Kentucky was the game that ended his tenure at Arkansas. So I only bring it up because you say Coach Pittman's got Arkansas in a better place. There is no doubt about that compared to the previous coach, because This team would roll over Western Kentucky and Colorado State, and they wouldn't have a club dub in the locker room. Nor would they be watching the Polar Express after or halftime.
If you would have been using your Ninja blender right there in the background, that would have been a perfect tribute to Aaron Torres. I only bring it up, but I know I'm running a little bit long here, but I only bring it up just to tell you I loved it.
He's very good at that.
I liked it.
He's
But
very
there's
good.
always something going on in the back.
Well, I did the dishes before the show started today.
Smart.
I watered all the plants. I took care of running all my errands. I didn't even get out of the house yet, so I guess I could do the show driving on the interstate at some point.
You could let Sadie drive and then do the show and then see if there was maybe we could get some of those words that aren't really usable on radio.
I try not to say those words in the car too.
Does she get nervous? Do you make
daughter.
her nervous? Like, can she sense that you're nervous? And does that make? Are you trying to kind of like, hey, this is driving's a very serious thing.
Yes.
But are you trying to like ease her into it, or can she tell you're a little tense?
I just want her focused on herself. I'm trying not to act too tense, but I can't help it.
Yeah, right.
I can't help it sometimes because this is a 16-year-old girl who is funny. She went to the golf range once, hit a couple of balls well. All of a sudden, wants to get on the golf course. Now she's ready to play 18 holes, right? Yeah. Get her out on the streets a couple of times. She thinks she's ready to take the driving test. Be like, guess what? We have not done yet. We have not done the thing called the interstate, which I don't think we're going to be doing anytime soon. I'm nervous sitting in the passenger seat almost with anybody because I'm just not used to it. But with my daughter, it looks like she's going to hit everything on the curb, literally everything. And I'm trying not to make her nervous, but I'm fidgeting in my seat. I can't help it because every trash can, every stop sign, every mailbox, every person standing on the corner with their hand out and a sign, it feels to me like she's going to run the thing over, and I'm trying not to make her nervous, but Matt, I don't think I'm doing a good job at it.
I like it. I do. I have a chance then to win this. I mean, you never know with me. Like, it could happen at any second of the day. But every time you get in the car right now, I still feel like I got a chance.
It's disqualification. Remember the certain rules for this contest. If you're teaching your teenage son or daughter how to drive, it doesn't count. Now, if you run a driving school, well, then that's part of your life. Then that's your own choice. But I got to have these kids drive at some point because I'm sick of driving them everywhere. I'm sure their mother is too. She drives them around a little more than I do.
I just thought about something that, you have to – I've never had a car payment before, and I'm pretty blessed that way. And I'm sure I'll have one of these days, but never had to have your monthly bills, never had a car payment. You're about to have to get Sadie a car, huh?
Oh,
that's
God.
And then Gabe's right by. Well, you get Sadie a car, and then that's going to be Gabe's car. That's kind of how it was in my family. Whatever car I had, then when my sisters got there, that was their car next. So I figured that. But there's another car payment, like you said. Yeah.
Well, then there's insurance that goes on top of that. There's the gas you have to put in the car and any kind of maintenance and all of that. I can't keep count. All I'm thinking of right now is, guess what, Sadie? You get a job. I think she's fine with it too, because I think she appreciates the idea that we're spending enough money on her anyway.
Those bubble balls that people get in and run around in the football field and hit each other. Cam Newton made them popular. Why hasn't somebody invented one of those for 16-year-old drivers in the car? Just put the whole bubble around the car, and that way they just kind of bounce right back.
It's like a permanent airbag.
Yeah,
and always out, and always inflated airbag.
Always 100% inflated.
I think I could use that if I had one of those, Matt. I would not be squeezing, as Seth calls it, the crap handle as much as I do. But I'm not just squeezing the crap handle, Seth. It's almost got like 6 hands squeezing 6 different things. Usually, if I'm nervous in the car for some reason, I'll grab the stick, the gear shift. I can't do that here because she's the one driving, and that's going to make her more nervous. So what's going to end up happening, Matt, is I'm just going to end up punching myself in the face a few times just to try to, like a Matt Cronin, slap myself in the face to get myself ready for the impending doom of being driven around by a 16-year-old. It's exactly right, Seth. My knuckles hurt from grabbing that crap handle so darn hard. But if anybody's got advice on this, on how to, it's not how to teach a teenager how to drive, but how to actually handle it. Now that I think of it, Matt, the best way to handle it is to get a professional to do the teaching.
My pops taught driving ed, driver's ed when he was in school. And that's why I asked you, I think a month ago or so, do they not teach, like it should be, you think about, they don't teach civics in school anymore. You think about the way it's like idiocracy is coming true. It's like we're not getting smarter as a society. Do they not teach drive? That should be mandatory for every kid that's 15 years old to go to driving school so we can teach these kids how to drive properly.
Yeah, be careful, too, because sooner or later, everything's going to have electrolytes in it, too.
Even that's how you're going to start your car.
I didn't have driver's ed in high school, but there was a driver's teacher that basically all of us were forced to go to. And that was if you knew how to fall asleep in high school, you knew how to fall asleep in driver's ed.
The passenger side had a brake too. Had the other brake where the guy
greatest car of all time.
Right.
Why can I not get one of those installed in my car, just for the next 6 to 8 weeks? That's all I need. Heck, give me a second steering wheel too, because that's the thing you end up doing most.
Flip so you can flip it back over here. Yeah, watch.
You just need to turn it just a little bit more than you just did. Oh, too late. You scraped the side of my car. But I'm also trying, Matt, to transport myself 33 years ago, when I was learning how to drive. And I think the reason why my parents had me teach my younger sister how to drive was their experience being in the car with me. I'm trying to have grace about any of her mistakes and any of her nervousness, because I remember what kind of a driver. Heck, anybody out there listening right now, I know what kind of a driver you were at the age of 15 and 16. And so, yes, I'm incredibly scared about that. You know who was a driver's ed teacher? We're going to get Sadie with Norm DeBrine.
There you go.
Clay's listening on the Hit That Line Now app, brought to you by Taco Bell. And he reminded me, Coach Norm, and the thing about this, was that driver's ed at a university? Was he teaching driver's ed at Arkansas, or was that what he was doing before he took the job at Arkansas? Dave Van Horn teaching anybody how to drive outside of the Van Horn girls and the triplets at some point? I'd take lessons from him. 877-377-6963 is our Lewis Automotive Hotline, and we've got Alyssa Orange joining us in a moment. We'll talk about this new podcast, the new venture called Varsity Vibe. Stay with us on Halftime.
You know, we joke, we can call me a sleepless tuna, but you guys know that you guys are like family to me.
This is Halftime.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Roback's got the gear for your perfect summer days.
East Coast summers living on the run. Now the beachfront nights, fireflies and thunderstorms. Won't you kiss me, darling? Tell me that you're gonna stay. Yeah. Give me those East Coast summers, Maryland to Maine. Now the seaside.
Shop polos, hoodies, Q-zips, and much more in the American Summer Collection at Rhoback.com.
Rhoback made finding the perfect pair of pants or shorts much easier.
They're a clean fit with comfortable premium fabric. They look great on and off the golf course.
So shop at Rhoback.com for the Delta pants and shorts.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
You don't always win your first bet. That's why MyBookie has you covered. Use our code HOGS, H-O-G-S, and your first bet up to $500 is fully covered. If your pick doesn't hit, you get it right back with our Bet Back bonus. Go to mybookie.ag and use the code HOGS to claim your Bet Back bonus. MyBookie's where bettors win together, because bragging's good, but cashing in is better. And your first bet is fully covered. Use our code HOGS.
Got a little jingle. Line Now app fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell. Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Well, I knocked to a window to leave her a note. Will you come me at the back of the grove? All the trees were in bloom, that sweet smell in the air. We were trembling together. We were young, we were scared, yeah.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
Alyssa Orange is on our Lewis Automotive Hotline, now the host of Varsity Vibe, all things Arkansas high school related, and that includes the first episode, which came out Monday. Alyssa, we've had you on for a long time, but now a different intro. How you doing?
Good. I'm doing great, and excited that we can finally share. I know that we kind of were just tiptoeing around it for the last couple of weeks, but it's been an exciting process to be a part of. And as you mentioned, first episode out on Monday. We've got an episode out today, 2 episodes out today, actually. And then I'm currently sitting on my computer working on episode 3.
Gosh, I mean, that's a lot of content just for 2 days with 3 different episodes. What's the plan on a weekly basis, and how you plan on covering Arkansas high school athletics?
So ideally, the plan, we have a daily Varsity Vibe Today podcast, which is what you saw on Friday, about 15 minutes of kind of what's happening today, and some interviews and conversations and just, news and information when we have it to bring to people for you to put on and be like, okay, that's what's going on today. And then we have 2 long form ones. The first one dropped at 11 o'clock today. That's more conversation. So, for example, I had a really great conversation with Rogers head coach Chad Harbison, who took over in 2021, and how he's built that program and that culture to sustain the success, and now try to get past, week 2 of the playoffs. And he also is a farmer, owns a farm. The farm's been in his family for like 120 years, so we talked about farming a little bit too. And then Hank Hendricks, who's the new quarterback at Fayetteville, his dad, they moved up here from Boerne, Texas. Dad's a defensive analyst on Sam's staff, and he's highly, highly recruited junior quarterback there at Fayetteville, because they just pump out quarterbacks over there, but just moved to town, and kind of talking to him about joining the Purple Dogs and all that stuff. So that's the goal. The goal is to just elevate the conversation and give more attention to these athletes.
It's a much different kind of way to cover sports than you had been doing at Pig Trail Nation. And that's just the way that's just what Pig Trail does.
Yeah.
I mean, Razorback Nation before that, and it's all Arkansas Razorback stuff. So I mean, and
Sure.
when you're doing that, I think it's a matter of, it's not like you're begging for access, but you know that the access is controlled for you. In terms of high school, I mean, these are people that, hey, the more the merrier is what it feels like. They're kind of craving not the spotlight, but somebody to kind of converse about their careers and their teams. And sometimes you feel like with college, you know, there's a wall you got to break through.
There is, and there are tons of stories, I think, and Phil, we're not being mean or saying anything that people don't know, but there were a ton of stories at the University of Arkansas that I wish I could have told that we just weren't able to, right? And now you have this wide open door with a ton of schools. So it was a massive learning curve for me of learning coaches and teams and continuing to learn, but opening up these doors. And the one thing that's been so helpful is the coaches and these athletes being so open to have these conversations with me. And that's where it starts. It just starts with getting it out there. And I think as more and more people see what we're trying to do, they'll want to be a part of it. And that's our goal. Our goal is to be a place where people know that they can come to us and find the information that they want. And it's not just about high school football or basketball or baseball, softball. We know that those are the big sports, but there's a lot of talent around the state. I was doing the math the other day. There were 30 state championship teams in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley, just counting those up, that deserve to be recognized and highlighted. And so there's so much talent in so many sports outside those main three sports. And that's what I'm excited to expose as well.
Is the hope that this expands? Is this, first of all, is this for the entire state? You mentioned River Valley and Northwest Arkansas. How much into Central Arkansas, the southern part of the state, but down by the Delta? And understanding sometimes, you start these things slowly and then kind of let them branch out from there.
Exactly. There's a lot to be said about, crawling before you can walk, before you can run. And so because we are up here in Northwest Arkansas, that's where we're starting, Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. But we also, I understand the talent that comes out of Central Arkansas, for example. So we will be able to kind of expand down there when it feels appropriate. And then as we grow and feel like the company can grow with us, then we'll continue to hopefully not only expand around the state, but other states as well.
What do you think this state excels at in high school athletics? What sport do you put at the top of the list right now?
I love that you asked me that question, and now I hope I don't make anyone angry, because from an outsider perspective for so long, I have seen the growth in talent with basketball continue to rise. And one of the things that I had always wanted to look in, it was like a passion project for me, and it's still on the back burner, is looking at the rise of basketball in the state of Arkansas. I felt just from covering the Razorbacks and their recruiting that it went from being here and it was Bobby Portis, it was Daniel Gafford, there was a player, Malik Monk, who ended up going to Kentucky. There was a player or two players in the state that were high profile, and that was it. And now you see so much talent with basketball in this state. The growth of that game, the growth of the talent here, I think is fascinating. And so that's not to step on football's toes, but I think basketball is really growing from where it was to Arkansas being a little bit of a hotbed for basketball talent because of the exposure and because of the kids who are playing this game. And I think that maybe, basketball might give football a run for its money.
Does Arkansas need? The way I've thought about this is, if you're competing for a national championship in college football, because baseball, softball, basketball, we're all feeling they compete at that national level, and football kind of struggles to get to that conversation of being in the playoff. Is it a matter of talent level in the state of Arkansas, or is it just a matter that you got to get the right guys here, and sometimes it can be difficult to recruit outside the state to Arkansas too? Where do you put it?
Yeah, I just think if you're looking to compete for a national title, you have to just be smart about the recruiting in general. And I know there was so much emphasis a long time ago of getting your in-state guys to stay in state. And I think that that's important too. But right now, it's all about finding the right pieces. And so if that means you have to go to California or Texas or Florida or Michigan, whatever it may be, to find the guy that fits your system the best, and that's what you have to do. If there's guys in state who you think can add to your program and compete at the level, not just in the SEC, but around the country, I think right now we have seen such a shift in what the Big Ten is doing, the talent that's up there. All of these teams are starting to figure out the right formula, and that doesn't necessarily mean just recruiting in their region. You have to recruit completely around the state or around the country. So I think that that's important. And I also think it's important too to not ignore the kids who are here in your backyard. And I don't think that they are, but I think that there is some talent here, that you have to pay attention to. So it's a balance there between, what you need and where they're located.
You get nerves? I mean, this is something brand new. It's something you're starting.
Oh my gosh,
something
I'm
brand
so
new.
nervous. Yeah, no, absolutely. I think when I got the phone call, really back in May, when the idea was just kind of coming to fruition and saying, would you even be interested in this? It was like yeah, I think so. But there was also oh my gosh, that is brand spanking new, not just as a company, but from a content standpoint for me. What would that mean? And the more that I thought about it and we talked about it, it felt exciting. It felt rejuvenating a little bit. And it also has given me the flexibility to be a mom and to be around my kids and to pick up Finn from school and to have the best of both worlds. Because I think the one thing, guys, that I realized was that I wasn't ready to leave sports yet. I had a couple opportunities outside the industry, but I just wasn't ready to give it up. And I knew that I had a lot left in me, and I had more stories that I wanted to tell and things that I wanted to do. And I think this opportunity is allowing me to have the best of both worlds that I wanted, and it's exciting. But I would be lying if I didn't say that when I hit, upload for the very first time on Sunday night, I was terrified. Because you got to get it right, and I was excited and nervous, and I'm still excited and nervous. I'm sitting in front of my computer with a Kane Archer interview that I'm going through right now, just making sure that I can, deliver a product that people are proud of and people want to listen to.
What was Kane like? We still have people texting in angry that
he's
not committed to Arkansas. And UCF,
well,
yeah.
Here's the deal. If you're still angry, listen to this interview, and I think that people would understand the relationship that he has with McKenzie Milton is the reason he's going to UCF. And he told me that yesterday. I mean, when I did the interview with him yesterday, he had just opened a letter from McKenzie, and he read it to me during the interview. I mean, I think that that's a relationship thing, and you can't blame anyone for going and working with someone, coaching staff, program, that you just feel like you hit it off with the best. And that's what it was. And he's got opportunities there to enroll early when he's done playing in December and play early at UCF too with Scott Frost down there. And again, McKenzie Milton, their quarterback coach. So I think if you were to listen to Kane and what he has to say, you'd understand that, I think as angry and prideful as you might be that he didn't stay in state, you also understand that these kids have to be able to go and do what they feel is best for them. So it goes both ways. It's kind of like the transfer portal. You can't be mad if we go and steal some, you can't be all like, yeah, we went into Texas and stole this kid away from A&M, but then also be upset when a kid from Arkansas decides to go elsewhere. So, but that's what fans do. It's okay.
So you won't be covering Arkansas. Maybe it's tough to not pay attention, right? I mean, this is still.
I might. Yeah, I will. There are a few things that have been. There are a few other things that have been approached to me and asked of me in a freelance way. So I might not be fully done with the University of Arkansas. We'll see.
All right, cool. So
It's nice to have control. control of that.
It certainly is. That's good. Yeah, I wouldn't have been able to do that in a previous iteration. Also saw that and I'm not saying this to, it's not bashing anybody, but your previous employer there's stations being bought and sold all across the state. So might have been the right time.
How
to
about
get
that?
Out of
So
TV.
huge acquisition for Nexstar, and I saw that article today buying Tegna. And I've been with the company since 2011, and when I moved here, I think in 2016, because I remember it was right before the Super Bowl in Houston in 2016. Yeah, I'm like, which one was that? I was pregnant with then. It was 2016 that they had just acquired Media General, and so we had just gotten all of those stations. And then they bought Tribune, and that's when 5 was originally owned by Tribune, and that's how KNWA acquired KXNW, but then sold Channel 5 to Tegna. And so I think that's probably going to happen again. That would be my inclination if things kind of trend this way, but this is not the first time or the second time or the third time that Nexstar has bought another company, and what they'll do is really in the big markets. For example, I know that Perry Sook, who owns Nexstar, has made comments about that we're based in Irwin. I say we, it's not a we anymore, but they're based in Irving, Texas. They don't even have a Dallas station, right? And so they're just trying to get more stations in bigger markets that they're not in yet. And then these markets where they already have stations at, they'll find a way to sell them off to other companies. So it'll be interesting to see how all of that works, but that's how it's worked in the past.
So just to finish out here on Varsity Vibe, a lot of podcasts are audio and visual and video. Is this video too on YouTube, or where else can you pick it up?
Yeah, so anywhere where you listen to your podcast, first and foremost. You can also go to Varsity Vibe on YouTube, subscribe, and watch all our episodes there as well. And then we also have social medias, and we also have a newsletter. So if you go to varsityvibearkansas.com, put in your email, you're going to get a newsletter in your inbox twice a week about everything you need to know, shout-outs, tidbit news information, and then what's coming up on our podcast. So go do all of it. Subscribe to all of it.
I'm doing it right now as I'm talking to you.
Thank you, Phil.
And we'll talk more about it next week. Alyssa, congratulations. Glad to be able to
Thank
talk
you.
about it publicly, and really excited for you.
I appreciate you guys. You guys have been such great support for me, and it means a lot. Thank you.
You got it. It's Alyssa Orange from Varsity Vibe with us every Tuesday on Halftime. Lunchtime, get over to Joe's Grill and Cantina. Tuesdays or Taco Tuesdays. You can get $1 off all crispy tacos, beef or chicken, $2.95 for pork carnita taco, and just $1 more for the pork belly or brisket tacos. That's all day long as they're open at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Dine in only. Tomorrow's Nacho Average Wednesday. Get $1 off all the nachos and $1 off all beers. Go online at joesfortsmith.com. Get a look at their menu, and they're right across from Harps, 3400 South 74th in Fort Smith. Back with more Halftime to wrap up hour number 1 after this break.
We'll have a spelling contest. Oh, Ike, what forever do you mean?
This is Halftime.
Hi, this is Truett Tollett with WT Equipment. When it's hay season, you need equipment that works as hard as you do. Premier Forge tools, from mowers to balers, are built tough to perform in the field and backed by support you can count on. At WT Equipment, we help you get the right Premier tools to keep them running strong. Come by and see us at our 8 locations or visit us online, WTEquip.com. Premier, because your hay doesn't wait.
Hardee's invites you to fill your days with a little more handcrafted goodness. Made from scratch biscuits, baked fresh every 15 minutes. Crispy chicken tenders made with hand-breaded care. 100% Angus beef patties, freshly charbroiled, built to order. And warm smiles every day, from sunrise to supper time. Because at Hardee's, there's always goodness in the making. Exclusions may apply by time of day.
When Second's making a play, Short's got it covered.
A winning insurance strategy doesn't rely on one person.
Good hustle, good hustle.
Communicate with your guys and make sure everyone's in the right coverage.
It takes a team that knows its roles well, working together to provide an exceptional experience.
Set the screen. You have to protect yourself. 1, 2, 3,
At Shelter Insurance, you can count on our local agents and award-winning customer service to help you protect what matters most.
Call Jeff Clark in Fort Smith or Brad Howe in Van Buren.
Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023, Anheuser-Busch, Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a store card. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
From the job site to the deer lease, Wheeler Power Sports in Fort Smith has what you need to get it done. When it comes to serious utility, Polaris and Kawasaki lead the way. Now with the all-new Polaris Ranger 1500 and the powerful Kawasaki Ridge. Some models come fully loaded with enclosed cabs and HVAC. Call or text 479-783-5822 or visit WheelerPowersports.com. Wheeler Power Sports in downtown Fort Smith, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
Are you an electrician that's looking for a smaller, non-corporate job? Well, I'm here in studio with Sloan Walker of Sloan Electric. Sloan, what do you currently have open?
2 journeyman spots open and a 4th-year apprentice. If you have 1 to 2 years experience with those, you'd be a great fit for my company. We do residential, commercial, and industrial installs. Normal working hours are 8 to 4:30, so you can focus on your home life outside of your career. Best way to get in contact with me is just give me a phone call or text at 479-461-4302. Sloan Electric. We can power up together.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
As forgetful as it gets sometimes. Doing some shopping for this weekend's bar mitzvah, Matt, and I got to get some clothes because I'm not the biggest fashion plate in the world. You got to have a different shirt-tie combination. Doing a pocket square for the party Saturday night. So I'm over at the Dillards, near where I live. And come to realize yesterday as I was trying to put some things away in the closet, I had brought my sport jacket with me just to make sure that things looked right with it. Left it in the dressing room. Ooh. It's a good thing the people there kept it for me. Otherwise, I'd have to go on suit shopping today. It's good to be honest with you about how stupid I can be sometimes because, 10 out of 10 occasionally.
At least you weren't like your boy Kramer and it had Uma Thurman's phone number in the pocket and you lost that. So there you go.
I had Uma Thurman's phone number in my pocket, Matt. I would not be doing this radio show with you right now.
It's very true, and I thought maybe we were friends, but then I guess it'd probably be the same way too. If I had Uma Thurman's phone number, we probably wouldn't be doing this show.
That's a guarantee. Yeah, I'd be. I might have been blocked by now.
If C. Halle Berry over here had Halle Berry's phone number, we know what would be happening then.
Did we ever get any opinion from him on Uma Thurman? We got an opinion about Halle Berry the other day that made me.
I don't know if he knows who Uma Thurman
is.
If we just said, do you know Uma? I don't know that he's going to have to Google that one first, I would imagine.
See movie. Have you ever heard of Uma Thurman?
Oh yeah, I watched
Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction.
Oh, there you go.
And,
that's all he needs to know.
1992. Uma.
She looked good in there, but
he
He
I
needs a
figured that was
really
her-
pretty face, Matt. See?
Yeah, I like a. That's just me though.
Let me go look at this.
I don't even need to know your opinions on Kelly Preston at some point. You'll ruin my life if that happens. Stay away from all of my favorite actresses. Pretty Please, see movie. I
Hey,
love you to death.
We all. What did your boy Aaron Torres? One of the first times he was on, he said, "We all have a type." You know, we all have a type.
Well, your boy AT is also one of those musical anhedonians who doesn't derive pleasure from. Well, I don't know if he doesn't derive pleasure from music or if he just like none of it hits him to the point where he thinks about it much. Not a music guy. Musical anhedonia. Thank you.
That's pretty cool, man. That's a good way to live, I guess.
Well, let me bring up my wardrobe because we've got a brand new partner here on Halftime in ESPN Arkansas. It's Walker Brothers in Fayetteville and Rogers. I think they heard me talking about my lack of style the other day, Matt, so they wanted to get in on the show. That's really nice of all the folks at Walker Brothers. Also, Bowman's in Little Rock. Every jacket, shirt, and shoe is hand-selected from men who understand the power of a good impression. Big meetings, special occasions, make sure you arrive with quiet confidence and a respected presence. You're going to know when they always say, if you look good, you feel good. If you look good, you play good, too. Walker Brothers and Bowman's fine men's clothing. Your life, your style, your store. And I guess my store now, since somebody was listening over there, and they realized the guy who does the play-by-play for Arkansas baseball and hosts the football pregame and hosts Halftime with Matt Jones is not a fashion plate. They're going to need to get me a plate for my fashion ASAP. We're coming into hour number 2 of Halftime. Just had to make sure I looked at the clock. It will be hour number 2. We have no guests in the second hour. Bill King joins us at 1:15 for a look around college football. So wide open at 877-377-6963. Getting into the third hour of Halftime right after this.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023, Anheuser-Busch, Bush Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive. And financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
At Dobson Fiber, we're helping you build stronger connections by bringing the fastest internet network available to your business. Why fiber? Fiber internet provides reliable, symmetrical, blazing speeds. Without any interruptions or buffering, you can rely on Dobson for all your data needs. With Dobson Fiber as your premium internet provider, you can focus on the things that matter and the connections you build. To see if fiber is available to you, visit Dobson.net. Dobson Fiber, building stronger connections.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, plenty of sunshine. There is a chance of seeing some widely scattered showers and storms. The high this afternoon, upper 90s to near 100. A few isolated showers and storms tonight. Overnight low will drop down into the low 70s. And Wednesday, we'll see a chance of scattered showers and storms. A high low 90s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Green Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936. KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 11 days. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you. Oh, ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
You both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Bill Olson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my hot dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
But they were one Razorback.
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
Hour number 2, it's 12:01, officially now the afternoon on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Phil Elson, Matt Jones. C Movie, Kristen Johnston producing, and our calls and texts come in on the Lewis Automotive Hotline at 877-377-6963. One of our more loyal listeners, not everybody's a pretty loyal listener, but this guy's been listening since the start of the show. And our friend JT in Hot Springs released from the hospital today after having a leg completely realigned yesterday. Matt, what do you think of this when you have your ACL, your LCL, and your PCL reconstructed in the same leg? And I get a photo from JT of a rather large, well, it looks like a large strand of duct tape over that knee. Feel better soon, JT. Just glad you're getting out.
Be kind of like the knee brace Pistol Pete Maravich used to wear is what it makes me think of right there, you know, the Bionic Man.
Yeah, just don't move forward or back. Don't move side to side. Just don't move. Give it a couple of weeks. I think, yeah, just take it from me, you know. I know all about how to recover from various injuries. We got a couple callers on hold. Let's go right to them here. We got Rod in Fort Smith first. Good afternoon, Rod. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you, gentlemen?
Great, thank you. What's up?
I just wanted to give you a shout out and a thumbs up for including J.J. Gray and MoPro as your musical lead-in.
That's right. That's just for that. That's actually been probably the most listened to song on our comebacks for a few years now because that's been Alyssa Orange's official intro music.
Well, good. Well done.
Yeah, I'm a fan of J.J. and Gray and MoPro. Saw them in Little Rock about 6-7 years ago. Great performance. Soulful singer.
Yeah.
Loves to sing about his home state of Florida.
How many times I've heard him.
Yeah. He's really good.
Yeah, that's a reason to go to Jacksonville, I think.
There's a few other reasons, too. Yeah. See the largest city land-wise in the entire country.
There's a really nice TGI Fridays there.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind. Y'all have a good day.
Thank you very much, Rod. Appreciate you. That must have been a great meal you had at that Fridays, Matt.
Well, you know, I cite my work. It's a quote from a movie. It wasn't obviously it went underneath the bridge.
You can just take credit for it at some point.
No. I'm not that guy.
Charlie, how are you? He's on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Tuna, good afternoon.
Man, I ain't taking credit for nothing. All credit goes to the man above. And, hey, I learned all my stuff from you guys. I don't know nothing. So there you go. I know nothing. I'll just listen to you and Matt all day, Phil.
You just regurgitate what everything we say, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, good or bad. I mean, the only thing I haven't caught on yet, and me and C Junior are trying to get better, is the music love and all that. But you know, we're getting there, and all these movies that you guys have seen that we have not. So I'm trying to improve my genre. You know, trying to get better there, learn more. But I wanted to say I was listening to I was looking at something online the other day, and one of the first things that came to my mind, they were talking about, well, oh my God, what has happened to Braylon Russell? You know, I don't understand. This is what frustrates me nowadays with people, and when people start with some of this stuff, like, dude, okay, he got beat out by a guy that came in here and has, in his 5th year? And I'm sorry, this guy came in here and beat Braylon Russell out. And here's the deal. You're still one play away. You're still going to play. And people look at it like it's a bad thing that Braylon Russell got beat out. And, oh, my God, they're all worried that he's going to enter the portal again, this and that. Look, if he does, we'll find somebody. I'm not worried about it. I think everybody all gets uptight. Oh, my God, how dare them, demote Braylon Russell. I saw that on something. I'm like, dude, he lost the job. Are you at practice? That's what I don't understand. People are not at practice every day. There's a reason Mike Washington has been having all these breakaway runs in scrimmages. I mean, and what he's doing, and don't think he's not helping Braylon Russell. Don't think that Braylon's not looking at, okay, look at how this guy's working. He's way older than me. I need to maybe take some notes here. And I saw today, Matt, I know you saw this too. Daniel Jones wins the job in Indianapolis, and everybody's like, well, now look, I'm not a fan of Anthony Richardson. I'm not, but as far as the upside and the ceiling, I think Richardson has that. But Richardson hurt himself last year, not only what he did in that game, just taking himself out, I'm tired, I don't want to play no more, whatever he did. But also, I thought when Richardson got drafted, even though he was picked so high, I looked at his college tape and I go, this guy's a developmental guy. And I just never saw him, and he's still really young, by the way. I think I don't know how old he is, Phil, but I think he's like 22, 23, something like that, Anthony Richardson. But I just never
23 years
thought,
old, Charlie, you're right.
So I just never thought with him when they took him, he was so young, so raw. Everybody's going like, well, they're giving up on it. No, they're not. Daniel Jones beat him out. He probably can complete a pass that's a drag route. And look, Richardson shows all the flashes. He's got all the God-given athleticism, talent, the big arm. But, it doesn't mean they're giving up on Anthony Richardson. It just means, Anthony Richardson, you need to wake up and get better. But he is close at this point. I think this is year 3 for him, right?
It is. Third year. Lost the starting job last year. Doesn't win it this season. And it's only so long, I think, even at the age of 23, that the organization that drafted you will just look at you as a developmental player. It'd be a different thing if you're, later on in the 6th, 7th round or something like that. But I think by year 3 or 4, they're hoping to get some return on their investment. It just it's not there, not yet. And it makes me feel like if he does develop, it'll happen somewhere else. Kind of like Geno Smith, not with the Jets, but somewhere else. I know he was a 2nd rounder, not 4th overall like Richardson was. But, even with that young age, sometimes it doesn't happen. When did Jamarcus Russell play his last game in the NFL? What was he, 26, 25, something like that?
He probably played it at 300 pounds.
But Charlie, also to your point about the thing with Russell, and if people are complaining about who beat out who, here's the thing I know about Mike Washington. Let's just hear something from Travis Williams, on the guy who's getting more talk than anybody at camp right now.
He's a good football player. Man, he has speed, he has size. He doesn't say a word. Come to work, he goes to practice. He's been a really, really good get for us, and Coach Kobe Smith has done a really good job identifying him. And man, he's a good football player. He really is.
I truly don't think they're relying on Mike Washington for more than 16 carries per game. When you look at his career, and both at Buffalo and at New Mexico State, when he had his 2 best seasons in college, those teams split the carries about evenly with another running back. He's never averaged more than 13 carries per game in 4 seasons, and that was last year. So how many carries do you expect out of Mike Washington this season? How many carries does the coaching staff expect? Because I don't think they're going to split it evenly, but Braylon Russell is going to play a very large part on this team.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree, 100%. He will. And just because people look at it like a certain way, like if I'm Braylon, like I'm looking at it more so, okay, well, when I do get my opportunity, like I'm going to do what I got to do to help this team. And I think another thing that Pittman talked about, and when you're older, it's probably the pass protection thing. He'll stick his nose in there. I mean, he ain't, and I'm not saying Russell won't, but he also, Washington is a fifth-year senior, I think. I mean, he's going to understand where he's got to pick up protection, and he's going to stick his nose in there, and he's going to keep, Taylor from taking a shot because he's going to know who he needs to get. So it doesn't hurt Braylon. Braylon will be fine. Anyways, y'all have a good one.
Yeah, I agree. It's just a matter in his, and people online on message boards that are getting angry for a player, I think they're just angry for themselves, thinking, well, this is the guy that I thought was going to be RB1 this year, and maybe he's not going to be. But who knows in Russell's mind the situation, because he was very well aware of the situation when he agreed to come back. If you have conversations with somebody, he knew they're going to bring in another running back. He knew it. I don't think he had the best spring, just from what you're reading, but knowing from what we saw last year, Matt, and just the track record of Mike Washington. It's the same with Jaquindon Jackson last year. Jackson never averaged more than about 13 carries a game. He was banged up a little bit last year. I don't know if that's the case with Washington, but I'm expecting that things will be a little bit more even than really having somebody that's designated RB1 and is a bell cow.
What is there? 12 games on the schedule. That's what they're guaranteed. 12 games. Both those running backs will have over 120 carries. Both of them. So it doesn't matter. It's kind of like the Manu Ginobili theory. It's like, well, he's sixth man of the year, but you know what? The last 6 minutes of the game, he didn't start the game, but he was finishing the game. So it's okay. I wouldn't even go to a school if I was advising my son, and he's a running back. I would not even want him to go to a school where there wasn't running backs by committee. I don't need you getting 32 carries in a game. There's too many guys on there. Let both the guys. You think back to the Penn State last year. Those two running backs they had. Ohio State last year. Those two running backs they had. Notre Dame last year. You start looking at these teams that were successful. It's you got to have a you don't want to just be a one. You can't make it through the season. It's a collision sport. Wouldn't even want to go to a team if there was only one runner. I want a committee. You need a third. You need somebody else too that can get it. But both those backs, they'll probably both have over 150 carries. I mean, both those backs, if they're healthy, those are the two backs that are going to lead the way.
It's the same with Jaquindon Jackson last year. You just didn't have anybody that you necessarily split the carries with. Jackson, well, I know was a quarterback when he first went to college in Texas. Before JJ came to Arkansas, he had an average more than 13 and a half carries a game. He got about 15 carries a game last year, and he had to miss. Well, he missed the bowl game because he opted out, but he missed a couple of other games and was banged up in other games that he did play. So, and it's not. I don't think injuries with Washington may have been a thing a couple of years ago, but how do you make sure somebody doesn't get hurt? By not getting overused at that position. Mike Washington is not going to be a bell cow style running back of this team. I don't even think they're really talking about him that way. I just think that's what fans expect because that's the way things used to be. I don't really think that's the way things are right now. 877-377-6963, our Lewis Automotive Hotline. Remember the Fence Man, if you're looking for a fence that stands strong and stands out, the Fence Man has been serving our listening area for over 40 years, building custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, high security, and automatic gates. The Fence Man does it. If you need special financing, there's 18-month financing available right now at the Fence Man. Call them at 479-782-3936 or go to thefencemanAR.com. It's the Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. Back with more halftime right after this break.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
No, I did not get anything done after the game yesterday.
That's perfect for you.
It wasn't bad.
I don't do well with that. Like when it's nice outside, hard to kind of be too relaxing inside, especially this time of year. I got to get outside.
I could not live.
I had to get outside.
I could not live.
Well, thankfully you don't.
Listen to the Chuck and Bo Show weekday mornings on ESPN Arkansas and on the Hit That Line app.
Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Envisions at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Envision showcases inspired design with exclusive features in this 5-passenger SUV. Or drive the brand new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover for as low as $399 per month. These are limited time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith or online at harryrobinson.com.
Looking for quality metal buildings and roofing? Metal Mart has you covered. From prefabricated metal buildings to custom trim, carports, and more, Metal Mart is your one-stop shop. Contractors and do-it-yourselfers are always welcome, and their experts will help you calculate the materials you need, all at a price you can afford. With locations in Fort Smith, Little Rock, and Jonesboro, or visit metalmarts.com. Metal Mart, the right material for the right price.
The spring allergy and hay fever seasons are here, and Law's Drugstore has what you need to safely take care of you and your family. Law's Drugstore can fill and refill your prescriptions, and they have all of the over-the-counter allergy remedies to provide comfort. Call 452-6116 and ask about vaccine shot appointment for shingles, pneumonia, COVID, and whooping cough. Law's Drugstore, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind the Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drugstore, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
All right. It's a beautiful day for football here at the stadium, and we're just about ready for kickoff. Score 0-0. And suddenly, I'm in the mood for a Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar. Now that's a winning combo. Yeah, crisp, refreshing. That hits the spot. When it comes to great taste, Coke Zero Sugar's always on the scoreboard. Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar.
Contractors, you've got jobs to win and customers to impress. That's why you choose Luxair HVAC systems, built for performance, efficiency, and reliability. And at J&B Supply, we've had your back since 1968. We're a local family-owned distributor that treats our customers like family too, with the products, expertise, and service you need to get the job done right. For over 50 years, HVAC and plumbing pros have trusted J&B Supply in Fort Smith, Springdale, and Bentonville. J&B Supply, where the professionals go.
Hi, this is Lindsay White with White Office Machines. For over 90 years, my family's been serving the greater Fort Smith region with the image industry's newest technologies, as well as providing superior customer service through long-term business relationships. As the area's only authorized Kyocera document solutions dealer, White Office Machines provides the best value with high-speed copiers and the latest multifunction printers. Stop by our office in downtown Fort Smith or in Russellville. Follow us on Facebook or go to whiteoffice.com.
White Office Machines since 1929.
The Crane Automotive Team has 16 locations across Arkansas and is home to the Crane Commitment. You'll find Ford, Chevy, Buick, GMC, Hyundai, Kia, Volkswagen, and access to thousands of pre-owned vehicles. Vehicles for every lifestyle and every budget. Even if you're not in the market for a vehicle, the Crane Team service centers offer the latest in vehicle diagnostic technology and certified technicians to take care of your vehicle and get you back on the road. Check them out at craneteam.com. The Ruskin and Zach studios are driven by the Crane Automotive Team.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
It's the time of the season. Love runs high. In this time, give it to me easy. And let me try with pleasured hands. Take you in the sun from this land. Show you everyone. Season for love.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Well, it was a couple days ago that Auburn decided they're going to officially retire Cam Newton's jersey. I guess it was yesterday that it came out. And now today they're deciding to claim more national championships for football. There's only 2 that I knew of because it's inside the stadium. They've got markers for 1957 and 2010. But now they're claiming 5 other national championships. I guess they've been claiming 1993 for a while, just not inside the stadium. They have it in their media guide. That's a year that
they were on probation, right?
That's
But
right.
they went undefeated. Yeah,
11-0 record in Terry Bowden's first season, but couldn't play in the NCAA. Couldn't play in the postseason because of a ban by the NCAA. But in 93, and we even got into this last week, Florida State was the national champion, although they lost to Notre Dame for their only loss, and Notre Dame ended the season with 1 loss. But yet the undefeated team, Auburn, had a postseason ban, couldn't play in a bowl game, but because the National Championship Foundation and apparently the NCAA football record book has them listed as national champion that year, Auburn can claim it. So how do you like that? The NCAA, it was the organization that banned Auburn from the postseason that year. And yet they put them in the record book as a national champion.
Did USC win it and get it vacated one of the years they're talking about? So
2004.
That's I mean, that team went 11-0, I think, in the SEC, or were they 13-0?
That was that was an undefeated team.
Yeah, I don't have any problem with that team right there being called national champions. With the way they did it, the BCS, I don't know how they didn't get to play for it. Think about an undefeated field. This is we think about how college football's changed or whatever. You're telling me, think about we look at that Arkansas Razorback team that Darry McFadden should have won the Heisman and didn't win a Heisman and think it's a joke that year. But if Arkansas went undefeated and didn't get a chance to play for the national title, they would burn this state down.
5 teams ended the 2004 regular season with an undefeated season.
Wow.
So Auburn.
Go ahead. You want to answer it, Ty? Go for it.
So Auburn, USC.
There was a team USC played in the BCS title game that year. Oklahoma. It was Oklahoma. That's right.
It's got a Boise State, maybe?
Boise State. There's one
What's
more.
The 5th one?
There's one more.
Is it a group of 5, Phil?
I think then they were a group of 5. They're not now.
That's a hint.
Keep in mind, I don't think anybody, if you were to transport this conversation to 2004, what the hell is the group of 5? I don't think we used that term then, did we? Pretty sure we didn't. But it was a Mountain West school back then.
TCU?
They're in the Big 12 now. Yeah, well, it's not TCU. It's Utah.
Oh, that's Urban Meyer.
That was Alex Smith. Yeah,
that was Urban's last season. I think Alex Smith, they beat Pitt in the Orange Bowl that year. Destroyed them, too. It was pretty ugly. I remember watching that game until I couldn't take it anymore.
Matt, you were talking about that Auburn team. I got on an elevator with Jason Campbell one time, who's their analyst for the radio broadcast, and kind of looked at him. I was asking him about, I think it was Talon or KJ, whatever it was, and I was like, "What do you remember about Matt?" And he looked, he kind of just sighs, like, "Man, he could play too." That was a dynamic matchup between you and him in 2004, I guess.
Well, we beat them the year before, I believe, down there at third place. Fred Talley's still running. That's the joke, And then we had the phantom call. The phantom holding. I had like a 70-yard touchdown run, and away from the play, the ref throws a flag. And you know how Steve Buscemi has his list of people he's going to go shoot with his his gun? Like that would be that ref.
Do you remember this official's name?
No, I know. It's a joke, obviously, but it's
he don't want to dox him.
It's like, what kind of person are you to do like that? You're the lowest of low. Because
why do you hate all that is good in the world?
It's a phantom hold call that's not even to do it. Oh, I'm going to throw my flag so I can get on. Like, you got to go look at how much money he might have had bet on the games, because that would have gave us the lead. But yeah, we could have beat that team. That was a tough team.
That Auburn team beat Tennessee in the SEC title game, beat Virginia Tech in the Sugar Bowl, finished 13-0. But that was a 2-team championship playoff then, called the BCS. So what are you going to do? If Oklahoma, Auburn, USC, if there's 3 teams in the major leagues that finish undefeated and there's only a 2-team championship game, This is the kind of season.
Now
that led
you're talking about
directly
who
to
gets the
playoff
bye
four.
with the 5 teams.
Yes.
You'd be like, all right, one of them has to play in the first round, but the other 4 would have got a bye. They get a bye now.
Matt, was that the game? And it might have been Florida 04 where Tony chased the refs down to the locker room. It was Florida.
Those
04.
are our 2 games. We lost those. That team was actually the best team that I played on my 4 years up there. The year before we won the SEC West, that team was better. We just had the breaks just didn't go our way. You know what to say, but that Auburn and Florida game, yeah, we very easily could have won both those games.
You know, I'm just looking through some of these championships that Auburn claims, and they're going back and taking so there's a guy named James Howell who's got a website called James Howell. It's jhowell.net. He does something called James Howell Power Ratings. I was talking to you about this morning, Matt. Auburn's claiming the 1914 national championship on James Howell's Power Ratings. James Howell was not around in 1914. This is somebody that just went back in the history books and based on some sort of power rating scheme that he came up himself, decided all the national champions from 1869 through 2024. So he decided that Auburn won this national title when he put his website up in the year 2000. Why did it take Auburn 25 years to figure out that they could now claim this? It's a fake national championship. That's what it is.
Well, they're used to picture books over there at Jordan Hare on the Plains. They don't really read very well. They just point at kind of like,
right?
Hey,
yes, yeah. It's not even a legitimate national champion. You look through the lists of what was a legitimate national champion. You can't go back and claim something that happened, 111 years ago, based on something that somebody wrote 25 years ago. So, it's like you point to Arkansas's 1964 national championship. That's a legitimate national championship. That was the Football Writers of America claimed Arkansas to win that national title. And of course, back then, the national title was decided before the postseason. And you want to talk about, this is what I've been getting at for a few weeks. College football still doesn't know how they're going to figure out who the national champion is. They've never really known how to do this properly. When the Hogs won in 1964, Notre Dame got a national title from the National Football Foundation, finishing 9-1 in the regular season. They didn't even play bowl games then. Notre Dame had a self-imposed postseason ban from the 20s until 1969, yet they're claiming a national title. Legitimate one, too. Alabama, they're the AP and UPI national champions from 1964. They lost to Texas in the Orange Bowl. Arkansas beat Nebraska in the Cotton Bowl. So if we're gonna go back and look at things with, I think, the proper context of today, Arkansas was the national champion in 1964, and Notre Dame's was fake, and so was Alabama's. See, nobody can agree on anything in this sport. And so, I mean, here's Matt texting in about 1909 and 1977 for Arkansas and all of that. Yeah. I mean, you can try to claim those things, but nobody believes it.
I think
nobody believes. I go to Pitt games. When I grew up going to Pitt games, I know Pitt football as the 1976 national champion. That's the only time they've really won a legitimate national title. You know how many national titles Pitt claims? 9. Most of them before 1930. Like all of them before 1930. These are not real national championships. Let's be real about this.
Was Dorsett on that team, Phil?
76?
Yeah.
Or 1911.
Not
76,
1911. Okay,
yeah.
that's what I thought. It's funny when you walk into Vaught Hemingway Stadium, not the same caliber, but they have SEC champions up there, and they've never won an SEC championship at Ole Miss. I guess that teams were vacated or something that year.
Well, and back then you got to make your own conference schedule.
Yeah.
It's like, come on. It wasn't even a legitimate conference champion. You didn't even have teams playing the same amount of games in the same league. It wasn't a legit championship then either. Yeah, I mean, you ever really had legitimate national champions for college football really since the playoff began. And I know, like, we'll have Bill King on later, and Bill is a BCS guy. He's a guy that says, well, there's really only 4 or 5 teams every year that can win a national title. Heck, I remember the conversation where you're at a playoff 4. There's only 3 teams that can win a national title every year. Now, we're going into this season. How many teams do you think can win? 8? 8 of them look like they might be able to. You know why we think that? Because we simply do not know. We also, we'll have a sense of who the national champion is. We'll know who it is because they'll get to raise a trophy and all of that. It's just now, you can lose to your arch rival in the last game of the year, and you can still be a national champion.
It kind of takes away. I mean, you think about, like, You referenced Darren earlier, Matt. You think about 06, Michigan, Ohio State, where they're both undefeated heading that last game. I think it was like Chad Henne, Troy Smith, and the loser was not going to play Florida for the national champion. Now, we didn't know that Florida was going to be there.
Ted Ginn ran that first opening kick back, against Florida. Then they got their
they got drilled. But like you said, Phil, like you have all these games of consequence at the end of the year, and a lot of them used to decide who was going to even the college football playoff when it was 4 teams. Now it's just, you lose. It's just not that big of a deal. I mean, it still means something to fans, but in terms of where you slot in a potential seed for a national championship game, I mean, there's a lot of arguments to be made. You don't want to play the SEC championship game.
Well, and that's why this potential proposal by the Big Ten for 24-28 teams, where I can get on board with them, is eliminating the conference championship games. These things might have meant something, I think, 30 years ago when they were invented. Now they get in the way. Now the conference championships just kind of confuse everything. And the idea of getting the bye is supposed to mean something. Well, it really didn't seem to mean anything last year, did it? All right, we got to go into we got to take a break. We got right up against it here. 877-377-6963 is our Lewis Automotive hotline, and we'll be right back in just a moment.
When you go to Subway, do you give them an extra $1 so you can get a long straw and get that tuna juice?
This is halftime.
At the Bet Saracen Sportsbook app, we realize lots of you have thought about opening an account, but you just haven't made that move yet. Well, now's the time with our new player offer. It's easy. You just sign up, use the code WELCOME, deposit at least $25, place a $25 bet, and that's it. Once that bet settles, you'll have $125 in free bets ready to go. Bet Saracen, the most popular sportsbook app in the state. Download it today on all your devices. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Progressive knows RV owners like to travel at a nice, relaxing pace. Just like this commercial. They're not rushing to a departure gate at the airport because they depart from their driveway. And they can relax even more knowing they're protected by Progressive. Now here comes the best part. Progressive Casualty Insurance Affiliates.
This is halftime.
All right, let's break someone's clavicle on 3. 1, 2, 3. Break someone's clavicle! Hit the field. Let's go. Move it, move it.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell.
Less than 2 seconds left on the clock and no timeouts, Peter. I don't know what they're going to do. Down 3 and way out of field goal range.
Truly an unlucky state to be in.
This state has plenty of luck. Last year, 8 Arkansans each won $1 million off a lottery ticket.
State as in a state of being, not... Whoa, touchdown Razorbacks.
This is winning, folks. Every lottery ticket you buy in Arkansas helps fund college scholarships. You could be the next big winner. Call or text 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages, or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gastons, a first-class time, every time.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
This ain't no lie, honey.
So Bobby Petrino should be getting up in front of cameras and reporters right about now. Talk about the offense. Be the last time you hear from Coach Petrino throughout the rest of the football season, right? Don't have any media availabilities for the assistants, certainly not the coordinators. I think this may be the last time you hear from any of the assistant coaches. So that means they can just sort of focus on, coaching and nothing else. And then tomorrow's the first Sam Pittman live radio show. So it's kind of getting that rhythm of the week coming in. And, game prep really, I guess, starts next Monday. No more scrimmages. Game week. We are within a week from game week. So it's all coming around to us. Travis Williams got in front of the media yesterday speaking. And one thing that they have talked about for this Arkansas defense this year compared to last year is that they sound like they may be a little more versatile.
Yeah, I could definitely say that because you got more toys to play with. Long as we can keep everybody healthy, it'll be a good thing. So yes, we definitely have more depth to do more there.
When I hear them talk about that, though, Matt, I think they're talking more about the secondary and the linebacker position. So let's just hear one thing each from Coach Williams on each of those position groups. Here's him on linebackers.
Yeah, so Sorey, Stevens, Shaw, and the guy we're not really talking about is Trent Whalen. He's been a great addition for us, and he's the guy that's going to play for us.
More on Brad Shaw. He's going to get a lot of playing
time. We see
him
as a starter. So it's one of them deals like his time has come, his moment has come. So him to go out there and make some plays, he made some really good plays this past scrimmage, and looking for him to continue to grow, in that leadership role. He knows all three positions, very smart, good linebacker. So he's one of those three guys that we consider a starter.
Yeah, you're hearing guys emerging in terms of play at linebacker in August camp. Now here's Coach Williams on depth at safety.
Very pleased with Jordan Young. He's been a great addition for us, and Miguel Mitchell has done an outstanding job on the back end. He knows it inside out, very smart, and Caleb Wooden has been a great addition for us, and Larry Worth has been doing really well, and you got so many guys. Shakir Smalls has been a great addition because I know you asked about the safeties and the Hogs. Yeah. But those guys have been really good. So we have that depth.
So there's names coming from every direction there in terms of safety. Here's Coach Williams on defensive backs.
In the defensive back rooms, we got a lot of guys that have 1 year left eligibility. So we have a lot of guys that played a lot of football. Steven Dix, this is last year eligibility. So you have guys that's been around the block. We have guys with mustaches, so we don't have a lot of young guys. So that's a good thing. So that experience means a lot, when you get up under the lights and get to play big-time football. So we definitely going to lean on that experience.
All right, so balance that, the things he's talking about, with linebackers, safety, and then cornerbacks, I think is what he's talking about specifically in that last soundbite. Now hear him talk about defensive line.
Yes, we have to continue to establish depth. May need some young guys to step up. And we have guys that's played in SEC ball, but just the depth part of it is definitely a deal that we have to figure out. Young guys is why we recruit, and being able to see those guys play early if they're ready. So we tell the guys, if you're good enough, you're old enough. So, just getting those guys ready. But we'll definitely need some young guys to step up.
Yeah, it was a theme of yesterday's show, but that was without hearing exactly what Travis was talking about. They obviously like their depth at two very important levels of the defense, Matt, but I think they're worried about what it looks like up front.
Yeah, as soon as the season was over, we were talking about spring ball. I said the guy we're going to miss the most is Landon Jackson, and I still believe that. Landon Jackson, one of my favorite Razorbacks to ever watch. Man, his motor, his consistency, showing up every single day. That's the definition of what you want in a Razorback player. So he's gone. Those are big shoes to fill, and I said you're going to have to fill it in the aggregate, and we'll see. We will see. We don't know much at all, honestly. Haven't seen this D-line play at all, so haven't seen a lot of these players. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see. I don't have SEC Plus, so Alabama A&M. I won't watch that game. The first game I'll get to watch will be Arkansas State, and it'll be very telling to see how we do against Arkansas State. We give up 180 yards rushing to Arkansas State's running backs. Man, we're not going to win 5 games this year. So we'll see what happens.
Do you think there's anything that a coordinator can do in terms of scheme or how you can work with what might be a deficiency on the defensive line? If you feel strong and deep and fast at linebacker, at safety, and a cornerback, because they're saying all these things about those 3 positions, but not talking about that up front at defensive line, tackle, and I also think defensive end. Can you work with this? And it's not a matter of just trying to outscore the opponent and be an offensively minded team. How can you paper over what could be a deficiency on the defensive line?
Yeah, you shoot the gaps more. So what you do is you call. If you think of what Liberty did with Hugh Freeze, what he did, where you're predetermined. Hey, we're rushing right away. And so what you do essentially is you're going to give up more big plays, but you're going to have more negative plays as well. So it's not really a bend don't break defense. It's a cause havoc defense. But then you're going to get gashed. You're going to get gashed for 30-yard, 40-yard runs doing that. But when you get it right. There's schemes, there's tactics, there's things you can do, and especially if you have athletes at the linebacker spot, you're going to shoot the gaps and take chances instead of trying to be a 2-gap player reading keys. You predetermine it, and when we run that radar, when we run that read option, if you predetermine it, you see things kind of happen. But if you don't predetermine it, sometimes they ride it in the belly, then they pull it, and the ball's on the ground. So there's ways to go about it, but then you can miss big plays when you do that. So that's if you're on the defensive side, there's things you can do, but then it makes you more vulnerable to give up that explosive play.
It makes you feel, and some of the things that you listed that you're excited about. I'm excited to see what T. Will can draw up here, what he schemes up, because they're talking about blitzing more. They're talking about, you're not quite sure where the pressure may end up coming from. And, you use the phrase risk and reward. It sounds to me like they're ready to take risks based on the thought that you can cover on the outside man-to-man, or at least the hope that they have the cornerbacks that can cover man-to-man. So that's a thing I'm really excited about, is to see specifically how and where T. Will's pressure comes from. And I think that'll define the offense, because they didn't really take a lot of chances last year.
Yeah, he's talented. I've told you in the last 2 years, I guess October we'll be starting year 4 doing this radio show. Travis Williams is a head coach. I've said that 2-3 years ago. He's very schematically, the things he can do on the defensive side, he can cause havoc. He's going to get a chance to be worth that contract. He's a D coordinator making 7 figures. So let's have him be worth that money.
877-377-6963 for any thoughts on the defense or where Arkansas fits in this next season. Here's a question about Pittman resigning or being retired or getting fired by the end of the season. Would you rather be the coach, Bobby or T. Will? Well, I mean, so who's a head coach first? Petrino's already been a head coach, and the way he talks, I'm not sure if it sounds to me like he wants to be a head coach again. T. Will's on the way up, but I mean, I know where you're coming from too, Matt. It's just I think you got to have the sort of. There's a reputation for Travis, I think, in terms of being able to get along with the players. I think he sounds like he's a player's coach. But I think what I'm kind of waiting for, reserved judgment as to whether or not he'll be a future head coach or not, is to see what he can do with this defense.
And maybe he doesn't want to be a head coach, and maybe he just wants to be a D coordinator for the next 20 years. There's nothing wrong with that. He's a great evaluator of talent. He's a great recruiter. The kids play hard for him. You know, he's got a lot of those good things going, and sometimes they get a little taste of a head coach, and you don't want to do it. It is a lot more work, but I'm a Travis Williams fan.
I think most of the listeners have been too. It's just it's like nobody was counting Travis as being like the savior of the program the way that Bobby Petrino is viewed. You know, everything's going to be okay because Bobby's running the offense. You know what? The offense last year, for all of the rankings, top 10 total yards, and they were not in the end zone enough. Didn't score. The points per game did not equal the yards per game, as far as I was concerned. Should have scored more, and did not perform well against the good teams. So, I don't know. Part of it felt like just a bit of reputation from last year. Brian in Ozark has given us a call on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Good afternoon, Brian. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on? I was just listening to you guys. I did have a question, though, because, you know, there's a lot of people still kind of doubting whether Pittman will be back next year. And if that happened, I thought that Bobby Petrino was not eligible to coach the Razorbacks again. Is that right or wrong?
No, they made that. They changed. Yeah, so when he was fired, there was the rule that was put into the university that if you're fired for cause, you can't be rehired. But then they threw that rule out the window when they hired him again as the OC. So I don't think the rule's in place anymore.
I was just curious. You guys have a great day.
Sure. No, I mean, he already has the job that theoretically, by what the rule said, shouldn't have been able to get that job. It's kind of funny that rule was ever even in place to begin with. Anyway, 877-377-6963.
If you can throw it in the garbage so quick, is it really a rule?
No.
Yeah. It's like
it was for show.
There's so many made up rules. It's ridiculous.
That was one of the most. I mean, the thing that I hated about it is you'll make an exception and do away with the rule for an offensive coordinator that embarrassed the school in a way that, you know, maybe just going 0-8 2 years in a row in the SEC would embarrass you equally. But if it was a professor or if it was, you know, just a regular employee at the university, they got fired for cause for something, and 10 years later they might have done the work and been rehabbed.
He won the Nobel Prize.
He
did something in his study that was good. Yeah.
You're going to throw the rule out for him? Of course not. For football, yes. For any other reason, hell no. We're back to wrap up hour number 2 of halftime right after this break.
I literally would eat tuna fish by itself, dry, no mayonnaise. I did this for a whole month or two, and I kid you guys not, I lost 20 to 30 pounds. That's all I was eating.
This is halftime. Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got trophies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite, white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
They say choice is the ultimate luxury, and now it's yours with Taco Bell's $5, $7, and $9 Bucks Cravings boxes. Choose from the $5 Classic Box, loaded with lavish classics, the $7 Supreme Box, packed with decadent faves, or the $9 Discovery Box, now featuring the indulgent cheesy street chalupas. That's luxe for less. The $5, $7, and $9 Bucks Cravings boxes, only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Roback's got the gear for your perfect summer days.
Go summers dipping on the run. Now the beachfront nights, 5,000 thunderstorms. Won't you kiss me, darling? Tell me that you're gonna stay. Yeah. Give me those East Coast summers, Maryland to Maine. Now the seaside.
Shop polos, hoodies, Q-zips, and much more in the American Summer Collection at Roback.com.
Roback made finding the perfect pair of pants or shorts much easier. They're a clean fit with comfortable premium fabric. They look great on and off the golf course. So shop at Roback.com for the Delta pants and shorts.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
You don't always win your first bet. That's why MyBookie has you covered. Use our code HOGS, H-O-G-S, and your first bet up to $500 is fully covered. If your pick doesn't hit, you get it right back with our Bet Back bonus. Go to mybookie.ag and use the code HOGS to claim your Bet Back bonus. MyBookie's, where bettors win together, because bragging's good, but cashing in is better. And your first bet is fully covered. Use our code HOGS.
Got a little jingle.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakhalin.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got trophies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite, white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
They say choice is the ultimate luxury, and now it's yours with Taco Bell's $5, $7, and $9 Bucks Cravings.
Things about the Big Ten we can do without. Big Ten, of course, has this idea for a 24 or 28 team playoff. I'm not ready to just dismiss it outright, but the Big Ten hasn't always had the best ideas. I'm not sure, Matt, if the Big Ten is very good for college football. The Big Ten, out of being a coast-to-coast conference and destroying the Pac-12, was not very good for college football. I think trying to cancel the 2020 college football season due to COVID was probably not a very good thing for college football. Legends Leaders divisions, that's one of the worst branding decisions ever made in the history of sports. Keeping the name Big Ten while you went to 11, 14, and then 18 schools, while being a conference that talks about academics meaning something, but yet your math skills are really poor. Bringing in Rutgers and Maryland, I mean, come on now. Acting like being like-minded in academics actually matters in college sports now. How about this? bragging about the conference when no Big Ten team except for Michigan and Ohio State has won a legitimate college football title since 1966. I don't think the Big Ten is very good for college football, and they don't have a lot of good ideas either.
Well, they do get to make their own rules up as they go. I mean, they are back-to-back national champs in college football, but do you notice the Michigan one get vacated? Probably not.
It's true, but you know who can claim a national championship now is TCU. Well, not TCU. Who'd Michigan beat that season? I forget who it was. Yeah, whoever. It's like if
Alabama.
Was it Alabama? There you go. Alabama's got another national title.
Washington. Bama in the semis and Washington. Yeah, they beat
Michael Penix Jr.
Kalen DeBoer, yeah.
It's like if USC had to vacate the 2004 national title, who gets the championship in your eyes? The team they crushed in the game, Oklahoma, or the other undefeated team in Auburn, who's now claiming the national championship? Man, I love these organization names that Auburn is floating out there that creates national champions. How about the Billingsley margin of victory? That's what they're claiming for the 1913 national championship. Who knows Mr. Billingsley, or is it Mrs. Billingsley? And their equation figure out margin of victory is what actually is going to be the reason you can claim a national championship. They claim Billingsley, Sagarin, New York Times, and the NCAA football record book for a 1983 national championship. And Maxwell ratings in 1910. Anybody know who Maxwell was?
Yeah, they make a great cup of coffee.
If they make great coffee, Matt, then they must know what they're doing for proper ratings of college football teams.
Exactly.
Good to the last vote. Yeah, and James Howell's power ratings. So, I mean, these Auburn fans are going to celebrate these national titles like it means something all year long. Just like they're going to celebrate Cam Newton having a retired number when nobody's worn the number for 15 years, and you're finally doing it, publicly and legitimately.
So instead of that AU on the side of their helmet, they're going to put the number 5, so like their crosstown rivals.
Be great, yeah. Put number 2 on that helmet for the rest of the time. Then again, I mean, they're talking about Freeze is talking about 3 quarterbacks playing in the first game against Baylor. Like he's treating Baylor like it's a SWAT team. They're going to play a couple of backups in the second half.
Then that's less people that get to call plays that game. So, man, they got it going on the offensive side.
That's exactly. I was looking at this. You get 3 different play callers, one for first down, one for third down, one for second down.
And then you got a coach that gets to be total autonomy, so he can veto at any play he wants to. And then you're going to play 3 quarters. I love it.
Sounds like there might be 81 different combinations of play callers and quarterbacks. It's going to be fun. Math, lots of fun at Auburn University. Hour number 3 also includes a lot of fun on halftime. We got Ty Richardson on the phones. We got Bill King from Nashville Sport Radio about 20 minutes from right now. And time for your calls and texts on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, 877-377-6963. Much more right after the break.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. How about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Listen up, crappie anglers. When it comes to crappie fishing, there's only one baby shad. The original baby shad, crappie fishing's #1 selling bait. Featuring a sleek back, streamlined belly, and quivering tail, that bait just won't stop moving, no matter the temps, no matter the conditions. Built for dead sticking and action-based techniques also, the original baby shad gets right to the point, catching slabs and filling freezers. Bobby Garland Crappie Baits, the leader in crappie fishing innovation.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-606-8737. 800-606-8737. 800-606-8737.
Need a new fence but not ready to pay all at once? The Fence Man, serving Fort Smith for over 40 years, offers 18-month financing so you can secure your home or office now and pay over time. Free quotes, custom designs, and the expertise to accomplish what most can't. Call 479-782-3936 or visit thefencemanAR.com. The Fence Man, he ain't afraid of no work.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, plenty of sunshine. There is a chance of seeing some widely scattered showers and storms. The high this afternoon, upper 90s to near 100. A few isolated showers and storms tonight. The overnight low will drop down into the low 70s. And Wednesday, we'll see a chance of scattered showers and storms. The high, low 90s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Green Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936. KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 11 days. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you. Oh, ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
Bill said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Bill Olson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. My heart, dog. Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
But they were one Razorback.
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
And vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
.101 afternoon. Welcome back in. Halftime continues on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, got Ty Richardson in the studios for the remainder of the show today, and calls and texts come in on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, 877-377-6963. I was thinking about trying to assign a little more John Travolta to see movie, Matt, but he got out of the studio a little early today. Maybe we'll assign some Travolta to him later on in the week.
Has he seen Pulp Fiction?
That's the question. I think he has, and the only way we knew that is that he said he thought Uma Thurman was what was the word? Did he say aight? Oh. Yeah, I think mid was sort of the idea.
Matt, you were clowning the other day for his Halle Berry take. I still can't believe that.
You know,
Man's allowed his own opinions.
You, if you're into dudes, you can be into dudes. There's nothing wrong with that, according to Jerry Seinfeld. But if you're telling me that she's not good looking, I just don't know that I can have a conversation with you about much else after that. It's like the Minnesota Vikings with their dude cheerleaders. It's like, really, what? Now we got 9 teams with guy cheerleaders. Like, what is going on with this world, man? It's everywhere. We just want to get in here and get it. It's like, dude, get over it.
The thing I don't get, though, is I see some fans saying they're going to give up on they'll choose a new team if they've got a male cheerleader. And it's different than like the cheerleaders that are at Arkansas games that are wearing, that are basically the bottom of the pyramid, and they're
a different type of bottom is what you're saying?
Well,
they're
no,
a power bottom?
It's that, I don't know where to take that. No, it's that they're the base of the pyramid, and they have those big bullhorns that they'll shout through, and their dance moves are really just claps, just kind of a clap and a point to the sky.
They're not sashaying?
No, they don't. They don't have if there's a choreographer, I don't think that person's worried about the college male cheerleaders. When I saw from the Minnesota male cheerleader, dude's got moves, and definitely there was a sachet. I think that was a sachet and a half.
I threw up a little in my mouth when it was like, oh my goodness, that's.
Phil, what do you do when you see, like, I'm assuming that Texas A&M is going to bring in Aggie cheerleaders or yell leaders, as they call them, for the first time to Fayetteville in 12 years since 2013. What are you going to do when you see them enter the field of play?
It's what he's saying. The guys that throw you up and are catching you, I get that, but the ones that are acting like they're not a man, that's the ones where you're like, oh, come on now, come on.
I think in some cases, a man is whatever it is that he says he's going to be, but it's just it's a jarring thing to see. That's the thing is, it's cheerleaders in the NFL have become so not central to the game, but it's like when you see one and dress the same and all the same moves and everything, and you can tell the difference. The thing with the yell leaders is that's a whole other thing. I don't know any Arkansas male cheerleaders that are going to be carrying some giant white book in the back of their white pants with their white belt and white shoes and writing little notes inside the thing. And you're wondering, well, what is this book? What's inside the book here? What kind of recipes do we have going on here? And like, those are their cheerleaders. I don't remember many other kinds of cheerleaders at A&M. They got the ones who are in a very, very special uniform. And those fans don't seem to be too bothered about it, but that's also because they don't have dance moves. They lead yells. A yell and a dance move, I guess, must be completely different things. 877-377-6963, Lewis Automotive Hotline. I don't even remember how we got into that.
That was my fault. That's my fault. Totally,
there's no fault whatsoever.
Totally my bad.
Well, just a little NFL segment here. What do you got on Joe Flacco being a starting quarterback once again?
Hey, Flacco's arm, he used to be a top 5 arm. He's still got some arm talent. He makes you defend every blade of grass. That's for sure.
5 quarterbacks on that roster. And I don't even count Watson anymore. I know he's on the roster, but he's
taking 0 reps in camp. Yeah.
He can't take anything. I mean, he's got another blown out Achilles tendon. So, I mean, I know that he's getting paid or whatever. He's on the team, but he's not really on the team. So there's 4 quarterbacks, and for all the talk about Shedeur and what he was going to do, Shedeur is the 4th stringer.
We got on it because somebody didn't think Halle Berry was cute, and it's like, well, if you like dudes, then you like dudes.
That's what it was. That's exactly what it was. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm a fan of a team that doesn't even have cheerleaders.
Hey, most soccer teams don't. So Crystal Palace got cheerleaders a couple years ago, and it's kind of and I promise you, everybody that's a football player are coming to watch the game. They do not care anything about any of the cheerleaders in any way. Like, it's like, it's a pep thing. It's like, oh, hey, rah rah rah. You go there to watch the football game.
Well, like, I just don't see why that's a reason to decide you're going to pick another team, or you're just going to stop watching the NFL. By the way, people said they were stopping watching the NFL like 7 or 8 years ago, and the ratings are fantastic. So I don't think it's had any impact whatsoever, based on sayings in the end zone or players taking a knee. It really hasn't seemed to hurt ratings or the bottom line of the NFL. I just know that the NFL continues to be amazingly popular almost no matter what it is that they do.
What's the movie? Is it Dodgeball, when they're out there raising money and he's got his finger in his belly button? He's like, yeah, get in there nice and deep.
Nice.
When he's getting there cleaning the tire, you're like, oh my goodness.
Justin Long plays like a high school.
The average Joes.
Yeah.
That would make me give up on my team. If I got one of my teammates, one of my favorite players, to see him messing around on the sideline with his finger in his belly button, pulling out lint.
He's like, I got one too. Mine just has a little more brown sugar on it.
Well, what else are you supposed to do when you literally are sitting on the sideline all game long? You don't have anything to do except play catch with the third string quarterback.
He goes, yeah, people really made fun of me because I didn't make the high school cheerleading team. And Vince Vaughn's like, yeah, high school's changed a lot since I went there.
Yeah, we didn't have any. We did not have. I don't remember any male cheerleaders at my high school at all. I do remember, man. I mean, that was the first time I ever saw cheerleaders do a dance that made you think that they, I don't know, fallen in love with the floor. It was very, very odd sort of dancing. But that was '94. It was they were dancing at some New Jack Swing.
New Jack Swing. My mother, Paula J, she coached the Pointer Prancers for a little bit, you know. So I think that's what you're talking. There's a dance squad and a cheer squad, and kind of what you're talking about is when a cheerleader's on the cheer squad, you're more of a different type of cat. When you're on the dance squad, you definitely are a different type.
There's a big difference. Yeah, there's a major difference between
the dancers and the cheerleaders.
cheerleaders.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I was part of it wouldn't have been the cheerleading team my senior year because I didn't play high school football. I played baseball. But I also am a performer. And everybody knows, if you've listened to this show over the last 8 years, I've been a mascot for every team I've worked for except for the Razorbacks. And the first mascot, I've been the Bleacher Creature, I've been the Macarena Monster, I've been Orbit the Space Cat, I've been the Mighty Casey, I've been Shelly the Horse, I've been Peter the Mint Eagle, Augie the Dinosaur, Brewwinkle the Moose, all of those. So I've been like 8 different, basically just professional baseball mascots. But the first one I ever was the Alderdice Dragon, high school, senior year, but you're not part of the cheerleaders or the dancers. You're part of the band at that part. So, Matt, I've never been a cheerleader. I have been part of the band. I just didn't play an instrument.
Hey, the bands, I like the band. I like the cheerleaders. I'm not saying anything about it, but I'm saying, guys, when you go to a football game, you're going to watch the football game.
That's a good point.
That's all I'm saying.
What, does anybody really go to see the dance
If you have,
team?
if my sisters, if you have a family member or a girlfriend or a boyfriend, I guess nowadays, if you have somebody then yeah, you would go watch. But for the most part, you're going to watch the football game.
My whole thing is I'm going to give up on my team when they don't seem to care about winning anymore.
You were close if they were going to trade Paul Skeens. I could hear you were getting close this year.
I gave up on the Pirates a few years ago. I just kind of have fun with it now because you know, and I don't know anything about the political viewpoints of Arkansas of the Pittsburgh. I just do know, Matt, that baseball is a sport that doesn't have cheerleaders. At least Major League Baseball. We got it in some college spaces, but they don't have it in Major League Baseball, and thank God for that.
Man, that was a fun segment right there.
That was a great segment right there. It was 10 minutes.
Let's make sure we don't put that on the best of, though.
Did not plan any of those things.
Control-Alt-Delete that one.
Exactly right. 877-377-6963 is the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Yeah, those costumes smell awful. Yeah, Dick and Roger says that's absolutely the truth. Those costumes are awful.
So we were doing a fundraiser for my AAU basketball team, 7th grade-ish, and we had to put the outfit on, what you're talking about, one of those costumes on, and go around, and you're doing stuff, and you couldn't be in there more than 10 minutes, and you were just drenched. And it's summertime. You are just absolutely, I mean, it's ridiculous.
And you know what never happens? Nobody ever cleans.
Nobody washes them, huh?
Never. It's you'd have a 70-game home season. That thing won't be washed once. Yeah, never. It's literally the worst smelling thing outside of a hockey locker room. And Matt, I mean, you've been in some locker rooms that probably smell worse.
Favorite mascot ever. Mine is the Phoenix Suns gorilla. Like, I love that dude. Like, whenever he was jumping from like the 3-point line off the trampoline and dunking and doing it, but the Phoenix Sun gorilla. And I want to say he was one of the first ones to like make $500,000 a year being made real good money.
Remember those dunks? You're thinking to yourself, wait a minute, did they throw Dan Marley in the monkey costume, the gorilla costume? Because he was dunking better than Marley. Of course, he was jumping off a trampoline, so it was a little bit different than what Marley was doing. We got a break here on halftime. By the way, Andy in Mountain Home, I wouldn't fit in Ribby's outfit, but I think I'd fit in Big Red. It'd be pretty easy to do that. We're back with Bill King from Nashville Sports Radio right after this.
I think it's your girlfriend called.
Text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive Group, home of the Lewis Guarantee.
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
After a while, you realize that there's certain people you just can't argue with. I mean, you just can't. Like me and Bart.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're all kind of like that.
We're all cut from that cloth.
The best part about an argument is when you're the smart one and whoever's on the other side is clearly not.
Listen to the Chuck and Bo Show weekday mornings on ESPN Arkansas and on the Hit That Live app.
Hey everyone, Braden Webb here at AAA Business Systems in Northwest Arkansas. You may remember me from my days playing baseball for the Hogs. Now I'm hitting home runs for AAA Business Systems and enhancing the ways company do business in our area. If you want to partner with the best office technology provider in Northwest Arkansas, call me today at 479-442-4185. Let's win together, and remember, anything else is just a copy.
Looking for a roofing company you can trust? Meet 3 Ladies in a certified, insured, and bonded roofing company. 3 Ladies in a Roof can handle everything from start to finish with honesty, quality, and integrity. A hard-working company that knows roofing. Go with the crew that gets it done right. 3 Ladies in a Roof stands behind their roof so you can stand under it. Call 501-658-3193. 3 Ladies in a Roof, helping you with all your roofing needs. Ready to serve the River Valley.
Gain a global perspective and specialized skills that many of today's top employers are seeking with an MBA from University of Maryland Global Campus. Study online and complete your degree in just 16 months for about $21K. Choose from MBA specializations in global business, marketing, HR, finance, and more. No application fee if you apply by September 3rd. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think you could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text FORCE to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text FORCE to 42424. That's FORCE to 42424. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
I know we're always on the go, heading to Fayetteville, Little Rock, Oklahoma City, and you need a place to fill up. But not just for gas. I need snacks, drinks, and a restroom that doesn't make me throw up. That's why my new favorite pit stop is Jam Mart number 10, located at 6201 Grand Avenue on the way out of town. I can't stop by without getting something from their hot box or a fresh made burger. That's Jam Mart number 10, located at 6201 Grand Avenue in Fort Smith.
Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off or take 4.9% for up to 84 months. Lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer and go 0 to 60 in under 3.9 seconds for as low as $9.99 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
Maybe somewhere near the back, where the bouncers on attack. The world's about to end. I don't need your love,
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Just need a cover, man. It's on the floor.
Headed to the Lewis Automotive Hotline from Nashville Sports Radio. Bill King joining us, King of College Football Talk, hosting 6 to 9 on WNSR. And we always appreciate your time Tuesdays, Bill. How you doing today?
Hey, boys. Doing good. Thank you.
Yeah, you fired up about football this weekend. I know K-State, Iowa State, not a bad game. It's in Dublin, so non-playing portion only has 4 days left.
Yeah, I'm fired up. I mean, I don't think I'm fired up like a fan. And again, guys, this is just my experience. Maybe it's not your experience, but when you do this every day for, I'm going on 40 years, I love it, and I want to do it another 1,000,000 years, but I don't get emotional about the season in or out. I'm going to love it when it starts, but it's not like I'm counting it down like a fan. That's just me. Because to me, the way I'm wired, I never turn it off. Whether there's a game or not, it's going on in my head whether I wanted to or not. And so I just don't react the same way to the season open.
Well, we hear from the coordinators from Arkansas yesterday and today. It's 2 weeks in a row. They don't speak during the season. Yesterday was Travis Williams, and today it's Bobby Petrino. There's the understanding and the proof when you look at his career as a head coach. I didn't go back and look at his time as an offensive coordinator, but my guess is it may have been exactly the same idea. There's always been a jump up in quarterback play when that quarterback has been with him for a second year as a starter. Stephen LaFleur, Brian Brom, Ryan Mallett, Lamar Jackson. All of those quarterbacks, though, Bill, they had either their top 3 or top 4, or in the case of Mallett, top 5 pass catchers from the previous season. Arkansas doesn't have their top 10 from last year. So that's why I go into this. See, I do expect to jump up in Arkansas offensively. It's just the quarterback knows the offense in and out. I just don't know about the rest of the unit.
Yeah. Now, in this mercenary environment that is here to stay, I think you can fix that a lot faster than you could with all those other quarterbacks, with whatever personnel differences might have been year to year. So I do think today is way more conducive than yesterday when it comes to quick fixing the relationship between the quarterback and the receivers. I'd be less worried about that than I would be in the past.
Hey, Bill, I just saw that Notre Dame named the grandson of Lloyd Carr, C.J. Carr, as the starting quarterback week 1 against Miami. I know Riley Leonard was kind of a dual-threat guy, smart guy last year for Notre Dame. What should we expect out of C.J. Carr this year, and what are you looking for week 1 when Notre Dame play Miami?
Well, it was a really contentious, and I don't mean that in a negative way, but tight battle between him and a guy named Kenny Minchie, who's from here. Played at Pope John Paul in the Nashville area. And if there's going to be a transfer, and it'll happen after the season, that's a really good quarterback that could be free if Carr keeps this. Carr is a pro-style quarterback with a very live, natural throwing motion arm, very accurate, and he's a redshirt freshman. Had some nobody's going to play ahead of Riley Leonard a year ago, but this is their best prospect. Now, again, air quotes around the word prospect. We know what that means, that they've had in quite some time at quarterback. He's got to follow through and play well, but he's the kind of guy that could have 2,600 yards passing this year. I don't think he's much of a threat to run. He's athletic enough to improv if he needs to. And you got to remember, he's got Mike Denbrock, arguably the best offensive coordinator, or one of them. Bob Petrino's up there too, but one of the best offensive coordinators in the country. They are way better at wide receiver. They have not been mediocre at wide receiver the last few years. With the transfer portal and the young guys coming up, they are immeasurably better at wide receiver coming up this year. They have as good an offensive line as any in the country, maybe the best offensive line in the country, and they have the deepest running back room in the country.
Yeah,
he should be fine. He should be fine with all the bodyguards he has.
I saw they had Plaxico Burris' son as a true freshman. He seemed like a big body, and I think, being that receiver as a freshman, you can kind of get on the field early more than some of those other positions where you need a college off season. Plaxico Burris' boy, you think he makes a step and makes a splash, I guess, as a true freshman?
Not this year.
Not this year.
They're too deep. They got Malachi Fields from Virginia. They got Will Pauling from Wisconsin. Pauling had 74 catches 2 years ago as a slot receiver at Wisconsin, and they have Jaden Greathouse back. It's going to be very difficult for a freshman to play. They got Jerome Bettis' kid there. They've got Bryce Young, defensive end. Now, that's not the quarterback. That's Bryant Young's son, who was a all-star, all-world defensive lineman back in the day. They probably, guys, I think they've got 7 to 10 legacies on that roster right now.
Of course, the Hogs get Notre Dame in week 5, and you were bringing. Somebody brought up yesterday, Bill. Ron Paulus asked us who had the more disappointing career, Paulus or Jimmy Clausen. And let's go back. Clausen actually a good career. They just didn't win a ton of games. Paulus was supposed to win 4 Heisman trophies, according to Bino Cook. And I just remember when he came out of high school in Pennsylvania, and I can't remember the name of the town, Berwick, I think it was. The hype was off the charts. I mean, it was the same thing for like Paulus as Peyton Manning. I remember it kind of feels a little bit like Arch Manning. It's just, there's the last name with Arch.
Couple of things. Yeah, Bino Cook said at least 2 Heismans, and you had the situation where he signed with Jerry Faust, who was the high school coach at Cincinnati Moeller, and they thought that he could translate that up to the college level. It was a complete catastrophe. And then he wasn't altogether that healthy for a period of time. It could not have gone, at least from a standpoint of living up to ungodly hype that you could never live up to, it probably couldn't have gone worse for Ron Paulus.
I was looking a little bit at Clemson's schedule. I believe they have somebody from Penn State there now that's being their D coordinator. Can Clemson get back to having top 3 defense in the country this year?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Clemson has arguably the best defensive line in college football. They have 2 guys that are top 10 picks as of right now, a defensive end and a D tackle. They are better than they've been at linebacker. They're very good, and they're very stout in the secondary, very sticky and also physical in the secondary. This could be a top 5 type defense for sure. No question. They open up with LSU. They host them. And LSU always has receivers. They always have a good quarterback, Nussmeier, but that's going to be a tough one for LSU.
Yeah, after that, their schedule, it really opens up. They could put up some defensive numbers. Hey, we were talking a little bit about running backs and where have they gone in the SEC. What can you tell me about Ahmad Hardy, the kid? I believe he's from Louisiana Monroe. That's supposed to be, he's a preseason all-conference SEC running back from Missouri, another team that Arkansas has on their list. I know it's way down the line before we play Missouri. How good is this kid?
Well, he's a good player. He's a potential 1,000-yard rusher, and they've done very good. Remember, 2 years ago they had the
Schrader,
best running back in the league that nobody ever heard of, the Schrader kid. They do a really good job evaluating the portal and plugging people in. And, of course, you had at Alabama, their lead running back, Jam Miller, break his collarbone Saturday in scrimmage. He won't be available, which is a bit of a depth problem for them, but it's going to be a fun year.
Are you confused as to who's going to play quarterback and who's going to call the plays offensively at Auburn? Because it sounds really confusing. Sounds like they got a first down coordinator, a third down play caller. I think Freeze may make the calls for second down. And then he's even admitted yesterday on the Tiger Talk program, and it's not like they're playing some low-level team game 1. They're playing Baylor. He's expecting 3 quarterbacks to play against Baylor. What is going on at Auburn?
Derek Nix calls first down plays, coordinator. Hugh Freeze, head coach, second down. Ken Austin, a guy I've known from high school, who's the quarterback coach, will call third down. Lane Kiffin tweeted, I thought this was hilarious. Who calls fourth down?
Right.
Seriously. Is there a plan for fourth down, or are we just not? What are we doing there?
Do you know of a of a situation like this? Like I can appreciate the idea of, everybody's opinion, but then you got a final decision maker and Freeze said that he can overrule anybody, but it sounds like a lot of hands in the pot.
I would assume that this is really organized and we don't have people. I think he said there are 2 headsets that in between plays and play calling that are available, meaning vocally available. None of the others are at the same time. Now, that can happen, but boy, you better have your ducks in a row. I assume they have this nicely planned out. You also have Jackson Arnold, a new quarterback, a second-year guy, Oklahoma 5-star, didn't play very well a year ago, never had a good offensive line. Seems like all his receivers were injured. So you've got a delicate, probably confidence level there. But I'll tell you this. Auburn, and no bold prediction, but they have a stout offensive line. I think they've got the best pair of receivers in the league. And they're really solid, if not better than solid, at running back. So going back to the bodyguard analogy, he's got a lot around him. And, guys, their defense has not been a problem. They're stout up front on defense. Their defense has been good. I guess my point is they could go 8-4. I don't think they're a threat to win the league or push Texas, Georgia, Alabama out of the way, but I think they're a threat to be a problem.
Hey, Bill Belichick, Rich Rod, both new head coaches 2025. Which one of them has more success this year?
Oh, boy. This year, Rich Rod inherited a roster that had been gutted by ineffectiveness, transfers. He ran them off. Rich Rod, guys, is as big a iron fist on the table coach as anybody that's out there. And he will have eventually, I think this year's going to be a struggle. So I'd say Belichick. Belichick inherited better, and he went out and he portaled with lots of support and money. So I would say year one. But Rich Rod, he'll have an athletic quarterback. But once he plugs in the perfect quarterback, I'm not saying he's got to be as good as Pat White. They've got a top 10 in America running back on that roster. Once he gets all that synced up with that offense, they're going to be very dangerous. I think this year, guys, could be very trying, though. This year could be real choppy.
Arizona State, do they repeat as Big 12 champions? I know I love their receiver coach and Jordan Tyson, who could be an All-American receiver. They were picked last the year before, ended up winning the Big 12. Is Arizona State still a team that you think can be in the college football playoff this year?
The last 2 years, the Big 12 has been the most difficult league to pick in my life. Not just 5-10 years, ever. And you know how the media tries to show you anything can happen. Man, this thing's wide open. It's never wide open. That one is about 5 deep with what could happen, right? Utah's not going to have another year like they did, bad year. Arizona State's got Sam Leavitt back. You've got Kansas State. That's one of the most well-coached teams, Chris Kleiman, in the country. Kansas is a well-coached team. You got Iowa State in the season they had a year ago. There is any number of scenarios, guys, literally that could happen in that whole entanglement.
Last thing, Bill, and not say which direction to go. You go Big Ten 2014-2018 playoff or Michigan and the slap on the wrist. Where would you like to go with that? Because there's time for one more topic left. I don't think the Michigan story is a story. I don't even talk about it. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Now, the 24-28 item is obviously the commissioner, Tony Petitti, who's starting to not look like a good commissioner, and you can't do worse than the one they had before in Kevin Warren. It sounds like they sat around a table, drank too much, and then thought, what's about the dumbest thing we could release to the public? And that's what they did.
That's what Auburn did. It sounds like they were at a fraternity house and they had one PlayStation controller, and they're like, here, I'll call the first play, I'll hand it to you, you call the second play.
And at the same time, they were drinking.
It was a drinking game. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keep one shot with every third down conversion you don't convert. That would be every one of them.
That's
We're
right.
going to have these different people calling the plays. Bill, we'll leave it there. Appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Okay, guys. Thank you.
Got it. Bill King, Nashville Sports Radio, with us just about every Tuesday here on Halftime. Got just 4 days left in the non-playing portion of the football season. Yeah, that did kind of come across a little bit. Now, I also look at this, and I know you look at FBS compared to FCS. All right, FBS, college football has 134 teams and a 12-team playoff that nobody knows what it's going to look like. FCS has 129 teams, 5 fewer, 2014 playoff. They've been doing it the same way since 2013. There are no complaints. One of them seems to have things right. The other one of them just can't figure it out at all. Want to remind you about Clay Maxey Auto Group. If you're looking to figure out a beautiful new vehicle, Clay Maxey Auto Group has promised to provide a level of service that maximizes your drive at every step in your car ownership experience. You'll find the Clay Maxey Auto Group in Harrison, Mountain Home, Clinton, or Berryville, and also online at ClayMaxeyAutoGroup.com. You can get a look at their entire inventory at ClayMaxeyAutoGroup.com. Competitive, transparent pricing, reliable, consistent repairs from factory-trained technicians. It's Clay Maxey Auto Group, going beyond the sale, ensuring a seamless, enjoyable, and tailored experience to fit your vehicle needs. They ask for the opportunity to maximize your drive today. Here on Halftime, our phone number, the Lewis Automotive Hotline, 877-377-6963. Back into the home stretch right after this.
Woo, pig suey there. I did it.
This is Halftime.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Adam Schefter here for Vivid Seats, your ultimate destination for all your sports and concert needs this summer. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every home run and thrilling comeback in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird, Limbird Real Estate Group, has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home, quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
Hardee's invites you to fill your days with a little more handcrafted goodness. Made from scratch biscuits, baked fresh every 15 minutes. Crispy chicken tenders made with hand-breaded care. 100% Angus beef patties, freshly charbroiled, built to order. And warm smiles every day, from sunrise to supper time. Because at Hardee's, there's always goodness in the making. Exclusions may apply by time of day.
Adam Schefter here for Vivid Seats, your ultimate destination for all your sports and concert needs this summer. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every home run and thrilling comeback in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more, 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
If it rumbles, roars, or needs a little more power, take it to Exhausted Muffler and Motorsports in Clarksville. From muffler and catalytic converter repair to full custom exhaust systems, they've got you covered. Need welding or mobile welding along with equipment repair? They do that too. Custom fabrication done right. Located at 215 East Taylor Road. For performance, precision, and power, it's Exhausted Muffler and Motorsports. Call today at 479-214-2729 or stop by today.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
It happened today, 5 years ago, at the home of the Kansas City Royals, the single greatest home run call in the history of baseball. Tom Brennaman was making an apology for a homophobic slur that had accidentally gotten over the airwaves, and you may know the rest.
Over on the mound. I made a comment earlier tonight that I guess went out over the air that I am deeply ashamed of. If I have hurt anyone out there, I can't tell you how much I say from the bottom of my heart. I'm so very, very sorry. I pride myself and think of myself as a man of faith. As there's a drive in a deep left field by Castellanos, it will be a home run. And so that'll make it a 4-0 ball game.
The single, greatest or most awkward home run call in the history of baseball. Brennaman's made his way back, though, from that moment. He was fired that night.
What did he say?
He used a specific word, F.
The
homophobic
F word.
slur that got over the airwaves. He didn't know he was on the air, and paid a pretty heavy price for it.
I said I was very, very sorry. I said very, very twice. Don't you think that's good? It's like, come on.
So this was the start of something and the end of some. This was the end of Brennaman's career with the Cincinnati Reds. He's gotten back, though, to CW football. He's calling football on the CW. Is that Pac-12? I know Oregon State and Washington State, I think, are on the CW. And he's doing mornings on WLW, big AM radio station, news talk station in Cincinnati. So, I mean, he's come back from that. And I think you say something that can insult people and come across as being completely insensitive. That does not mean that dot all the right T's, dot all the right I's, and cross all the right T's, that you can't come back from that and get a career back, which he's done. But it also started the legend of Nick Castellanos hitting home runs in the most awkward moments. I think there have been 2 home runs that Castellanos has hit, which have been in the middle of some sort of a eulogy that a broadcaster has been in the middle of saying. I think there might have been a member of the production crew that had passed away, and Castellanos has at bat in the middle of the eulogy, or the memories of him, he hits a home run. And it's on the Phillies broadcast, too. it's just for anytime Nick Castellanos steps up to the plate, you don't say anything serious. You just call the at bat and then move on to the next thing that you got to worry about. So I will never forget when this happened, because I watched the call. I didn't see the game when it was going on, but everybody knew when this happened. And look, I mean, I think all of us at some point have said something that's gone over the air that you did not want to go over the air. I've done it myself. It would have, gosh, I guess it happened like 17 or 18 years ago. I didn't know somebody was in studio and said something back down the line that got over the airwaves. It would have gotten me in serious trouble. I've told you this story before. The scout from the Yankees was listening to the Traveler game because, well, scouts listen to the home broadcast, so they get a little information about the team that they're watching. And I don't know how many people are listening to Traveler broadcast. The next day, he heard what I said. He comes up to get the stat pack and everything, and he sits down to the table, and he goes, all right, which one of y'all said F over the air yesterday? Like, I think that might have been me. Got to apologize for those sorts of things. Doesn't necessarily mean you're a bad person, but it does mean you got to work your way back a little bit, and Brenneman's done that. Meanwhile, Castellanos continues to hit home runs. Not sure if it's come in awkward moments this year, but the Phillies could certainly use a few more home runs now that Zach Wheeler's hurt. And look, I just bring it up not to make light of Brenneman, because my whole point here too is you can come back from these moments if you do the right things, you apologize to the right people, and it comes across as being legitimate, as if it comes across as being that you really feel what it is that you're saying. So I'm glad that Brenneman is back, because he's a tremendous broadcaster and he does belong in, well, I would say a big market, but he belongs in Cincinnati, where his dad was the voice of the Reds for, gosh, like 30, 35 years. 877-377-6963, Lewis Automotive Hotline. Bobby Petrino in front of the media. You know he's going to say all the right things. And talking here about him being, I think they're talking about Taylon Green. Yeah, really starting to understand what the package will be for this. About KJ Jackson, talking more about Jackson. Not only in the past, they're going to have a package for KJ Jackson, is what it appears like they're talking about here. You got a question: would it be beneficial to get KJ Jackson similar action against Alabama A&M? He says, yeah. Starting to understand what he can do. Took huge steps in spring ball. I'm talking about a package for him. So it sounds to me like, I know that Jackson may be the same style quarterback as Taylon Green. Long, tall, fast, hose of an arm, and looks like they may be trying to get him some playing time at some point this year. And I'd expect to see him against Alabama A&M, but maybe you'll see him with a special package for games after that.
Get him some reps, get him some confidence. Don't put a microphone in front of his face, especially if it's on air. You never know what people are going to say.
That's the absolute truth.
Be careful out there.
Well, see, BE even texts in to you. Talk about second chances. We brought one up earlier. Bobby Petrino. Talk about a second chance. Boy, he got a second chance at Arkansas and seems to be quite comfortable in that second chance. So, and who would have transported themselves to 15 years ago or 11 or 14 years ago and think that he'd be back as a coach at Arkansas or really anywhere else, truthfully? It's the same with Brenneman. You can come back from these things. Yeah, people text in where they might have been caught saying something they shouldn't say. You never know. See, that's the thing, too. C-Unit, Matt, we always can trust when we know we're not on the air. We get Ty in the studios right now, you know? I mean, Tommy probably trusts Ty. It's been about 6 years since I worked with Ty on a daily basis, so I kind of feel once he took over on the studio board today in commercial breaks, I just got up and walked away because I wasn't quite sure what to trust.
A little scared.
I think we're okay, though. Yeah, I think we might be all right.
You just made me double-check the audio on StreamYard because now you've got me nervous a little bit.
That's right, yeah. Charlie got a second chance a couple of weeks ago.
Always speak like Paula J's listening. You don't have to worry about anything, Phil.
And that's advice to live by. Well, at least for 3 hours a day.
That's it.
That's the other 21 hours a day, well, maybe you're sleeping for 8 of them.
You don't have a microphone on you all day. But
so out of the other 13 hours a day, you can basically say what you want. Which here's what I want to do. Here's going to say we're going to break and back to wrap up halftime right after this.
Hey, Phil, I'm a big fan of yours.
This is Halftime.
Harry Robinson Salisal Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisal Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisal Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisal.
At Wave Rural Connect, our mission's simple: improve the quality of life in our communities. We've expanded to several non-member areas to help new communities. If you live in areas near Altus, Branch, Coxville, Mountainburg, Murray, Spur, or Ozark, Wave Rural Connect may be available to you right now. Check availability online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Wave Rural Connect will continue opening new areas throughout 2025.
Do you need closure on your garage? Call Grit Garage Doors. Whether it's a new door, a squeaky closing sound, a broken spring, or just off track, Grit is who you can trust. Call Grit. There's no door Grit can't close. Local team, local service with honesty and integrity. Call Grit Garage Doors. 479-430-3667. That's 479-430-DOOR.
Check out their Facebook page for a family fun giveaway through August 21st.
What do Formula One, the Peanuts cartoon strip, and Jay Leno all have in common with Crabtree RV Center? Yes, you guessed it. They are all celebrating 75 in 2025. Crabtree RV Center is so thrilled to have seen 75 wonderful years of business in the River Valley, and we want to celebrate with all of you. Come in today and take advantage of our 75-year anniversary sale going on every day at Crabtree RV Center in Alma, Arkansas. Crabtree RV Center is your one-stop shop for sales, service, parts, and rentals. Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for 75 years.
A new era of chicken is here to stay, and it's not your parents' poultry. The Cantina Chicken menu from Taco Bell is slow roasted and perfectly seasoned. Take it tacoed up in a crispy white corn tortilla with cheese inside and out, or wrapped in a burrito with fresh purple cabbage and freshly prepared pico de gallo. However you like it, you'll never chicken the same way again. Get yours today at your nearest Taco Bell and join rewards to earn free food. Available at participating stores. Rewards points are earned on qualifying purchases. All items while supplies last. Subject to terms.
Are you an electrician that's looking for a smaller, non-corporate job? Well, I'm here in studio with Sloan Walker of Sloan Electric, starting 40, 45 hours a week, anywhere from $20 to $28 an hour, depending on the experience.
Yeah, that's all correct. We offer competitive pay. We have 6 paid major holidays. I'm working on some other benefits to go with those for my current employees and future employees. Best way to get in contact with me is just give me a phone call or text at 479-461-4302. Sloan Electric. We can power up together.
A SoFi personal loan is here to help you achieve something once thought impossible: overcoming high-interest credit card debt. Walk the tightrope of your finances with one low, fixed-rate monthly payment, no fees required, and as soon as the same-day funding. That's right. Pull off your own debt-defying stunt with a SoFi personal loan. Visit SoFi.com/trick to learn more. Loans originated by SoFi Bank, N.A., member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891.
Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Envisions at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Envision showcases inspired design with exclusive features in this 5-passenger SUV. Or drive the brand new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover, for as low as $399 per month. These are limited time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith, or online at harryrobinson.com.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Make sure, if you haven't yet, take advantage of 20% off your first order at Roback.com. Last chance in the next couple of weeks to enjoy Roback's fresh polos, hoodies, Q-zips, and more in the American Summer Collection and get that 20% off. You got to go to roback.com, RHOBACK.com. Use the code RUSH25 at checkout. You get 20% off your first order. And take a look at the specially licensed Razorback clothing at roback.com because I guarantee you're going to like it. Closing out halftime here, 877-377-6963 for the Lewis Automotive Hotline. And here's another, all these organizations that have ratings and power ratings. And Kelly Ford is another one of these. Does college football and college basketball ratings. Maddie also posts about Leicester City, so it must be a soccer fan.
Leicester City. So he must be a soccer fan. And according to the K Ford preseason schedule difficulty ratings, who wants to finish this for me here? Who's got the toughest schedule in the country according to K Ford ratings? Arkansas does. Anybody tired of hearing that yet? Yeah. According to Ford here, says the number 12 power-rated team, and Arkansas on FPI, I think, is rated 26th, I think it was when I last looked. 12th power-rated team would win 7.1 games against the Razorbacks' regular season schedule. But that's if you're power-rated 12th. I don't know what it means if you're power-rated 25 or 26 or whatever it is. So it's right there in front of you again. It's another data point to point to of the toughest schedule in the nation. And in fact, according to this rating service, the top 5 toughest schedules are SEC, and 9 of the top 10 toughest schedules are SEC. There you go. Have fun with that, Big Ten. Man, it's almost here, Phil. It is almost. Next? So on Monday, is that like officially we're game week, huh?
Yeah, I get
it's a jamboree. You got to have a jamboree your first game, but then we're into it. It's you're getting it. You're getting into your routine. You're establishing a routine.
So does that mean? Sorry, for you, if you're a player, does game week start Sunday or Monday? Because Sunday's the day off. The day's for recovery day, but there's no scrimmage the day before or game the day before.
Coach Pittman doesn't differ. And I remember talking with Dow when he was there. Coach Nutt, that on Sunday you came into work, and then Monday was your day off. But Coach Pittman gives them off Sunday, and they come into work Monday. So you kind of, I like coming in on Sunday because you're sore. You want to get some stuff done, and then you get that next day off. So, but it's each coach does their schedule. Florida State, they stayed in Ireland all year last year, so they didn't even
never made it
season.
back.
Yeah,
they literally never made it back. Is there a Monday game this next week? I don't think there's any Monday game next week. So there is a Monday game. Isn't there an SEC Monday game? Week 1, is it? Is
that LSU Clemson?
I think that might be. Is it LSU Clemson or South Carolina Virginia Tech? I think it's Carolina Virginia Tech. That's August 31st. No, that's a Sunday. So there is a Monday game, and I couldn't remember which one it was. Anyway, you're right. Game week is certainly upon us. And this Iowa State K-State game, I mean, there's 2 top 25 teams on the AP poll, an 11 o'clock kickoff on ESPN. I remember watching last year's game in Dublin. The stadium looked cool. I thought it was a great way to start the season. Sounds like it's a literal tradition now. Seth says game week means it's weather in the 70s. That's about right. Not anymore.
Phil, we got Belichick against TCU. That's the Monday game you were thinking of. It's North Carolina
That's what it is.
Tar Heels against the Horned Frogs.
Kendall Briles still at TCU?
Sure is.
Go get him, Kendall.
Sure is. Watch Belichick take away the best things that Briles can do, just like he did all those years with New England.
Oh, don't worry. He'll mess it up on his own once he gets into the red zone.
All right, we get into Ruskin and Zach. We don't get into Ruskin and Zach. They do in just a moment. Good way to finish there, Maddie. We'll mess it up getting inside the 20. Didn't work too here inside the 20 either. Eastside Liquor Halftime Podcast ready to go in a moment's notice. And tomorrow on a Wednesday, Dudley Dawson's with us a day early, also Grant Hall. So that's halftime for a Tuesday. From Matt Jones, Christian Johnston, Ty Richardson, I'm Phil. Thanks for listening. Get up, get out, and get better.
See dealer for details. Buckle up, folks. Road Chevrolet is bringing the sizzle this summer with the Heat is On event. For the next 30 scorching seconds, let me tell you why you can't miss this. How about 0% financing on select new Chevys for well-qualified buyers? Our inventory is on fire, but these deals won't last